Hey, what's going on with you? You're on with Big J, and you know what time it is. It's time to talk sports, news, and information. We have a live call in show that we're going to do. We want to say salute to everyone in the channel. We're going to talk a little bit about the race today until everyone comes in because I'm starting a little bit early. I had the times totally thrown off. Forgive me. But we just want to say again, we appreciate you who do dialogue, who comment, who talk back and forth. I hope Nine sees this so he can come on in. Shout out to Everlast, all those who are part of the channel. You are amazing. We're going to get into the race in a minute, but here's my opinion again. Everything that was done is completely sponsored by Nike. And the championship, the finals will go back to Eugene, Oregon. Why? That's Nike's hometown. That's their position. That's their place. That's their facility. But what we're going to talk about today, and I want you to call in and talk about it once. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take one person at a time. You have 3 to 5 minutes to say whatever you want about the race. Anything else, I will boot you from the room. All right. But you have whatever you want to say about the race, you have that opportunity. Anything else nonsense, you got to go. All right. So Nine is not here right now, so I don't have a moderator. So I'm going to be doing everything by myself. All right. So I'm going to ask you to bear with me. But again, hey, this was a great race. But what do you have to say about you? Oh, Nine, come on. Oh, let me put the toll on. Nine is here, so give me a minute. Nine will be doing most of the talking because I will be moderating the room because this is a lot of work. All right. But we're going to get it to get done together. All right. This is a great, great, great opportunity. So once Nine comes in, then we'll start doing a live chat. You can hit the link and we'll take one person at a time because we want to talk about what went on today because I have many opinions. All right. And I want to hear what you have to say. All right. Let's see let's start over here so we get all right. As predicted. That's right, Emma, 100%. That's what everybody's going to say today. I'm telling you. And I want to hear what you have to say about the winner. Sha'Carri is not a sprinter. She is no attribute of a has no attributes of a sprinter. Look at her, biomechanics and add. Okay, let me get Nine in here. What's going on, brother? You there, Nine?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so we're gonna have a call in so people can call in today. All you have to do is click that link, and we're gonna let you in. All right, but we're gonna go over some of these comments also. Also, he just says Sha'Carri is not an athlete. She's not a sprinter, and I agree 100%. What she is, she's a ticket draw, and she gets people to come in and to become a part of what's going on. What do you got to say about that, Don?
It kind of looked like she quit at the end. She was so lucky to come in fourth, but I was kind of disappointed. I thought she had more in the tank than she actually showed.
Yeah, same thing, brother. Same thing. So, guys, the link is in the room. Come on in. Let's talk. Yeah, so I'm off that ticket too, man. I'm not really gonna deal with that one anymore. Fourth place.
But I really can't say that because she went from last place to fourth place, so she's trending in the right direction. But she really has to train more and build up her stamina.
Somebody said, "Is she a biological woman?" I'm not going there. Oh man, yes. And Mbuma, congratulations. Now I know a lot of people have a take on that. What do you think about Mbuma winning the race? Nine.
Man, she's a athlete. I got to give her 100% of the credit. She went out there and she did what she needed to do.
Facts, facts.
And
You
I'm
want
not one who disrespect her and say, "Oh, she half this, half that, half this." I can't go for that kind of talk because that kind of talk is just some kind of fantasy of people making up stuff to suit their own vision of what a woman should be, and I really can't go with that.
okay? All right, you go ahead and speak on it, man. Go ahead and speak on it.
No, I really just don't like it because some European always have some kind of thing to tell us that, oh, Africans are this, that, and we always feed into the narrative and help their agenda. And I just don't think it's right. We people with our own minds, you know, we can't let people disrespect our women like that and act like it's okay. And then they turn around and have these men competing and say, oh no, these are the new women y'all need to look at and cheer for. And I just don't feel like it's acceptable. And women should be outraged that this is what they're parading in our face, say women are not women and now men are the new women. I mean, it's not really acceptable, and I really can't stand for that.
We had a show on that. I don't know if you remember. We were talking about the term used to be hermaphrodite, and what that term suggested was with a woman who was born with both genitalia, male and female, and that's not something that they wanted. And remember, at the turn of the century, I discussed because I'd studied that in colleges that women who were born are individuals who were born with both parts. The parents will make a decision of what that child would be. All right. And what the child would and what the parent would do is they would have that child's sex removed that they feel the child wasn't. And at the turn of the century, there were more suicide among children. So this is why they reclassified it and changed it and allowed the child to determine what they will be. So it's a very big top, just a big subject.
Yeah, and that's the right thing to do because I watched the show on that, man. It's many years ago, and you know they had twins, and they decided that, oh, one of the twins would be a girl and one would be a boy, and the one they turned into a girl had all kind of problems because he felt like he was always a boy, you know.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah,
so I,
it's a deep subject.
and I also had an employee who that's what that person was, you know, that
Wow.
her her top half was male, but her bottom half was female, you know, but she identified as a female.
Hey, Mr. Joe said a comment, and we're gonna deal with that for a minute. And I know a lot of people at work, so we just if you're in the room now, do me a favor, hit that like button. Again, I'm gonna put the link, so if you want to call in, you can come in as an avatar. You don't have to show your face, but just come on, be a part of Big J and Nine right now. But let me say this: Mr. Joe said, Mboma is an intersex, and people are saying Sha'Carri is a trans. Do you think it's fair for trans to compete against women? See what I'm saying? And it's proven that Sha'Carri is a woman. For
The,
some reason,
the
go ahead, Nine. Go ahead.
trans isn't a man who 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 changed into a woman. That's different. You know,
Right,
Shakari is a woman who identifies as a I'm a woman, I like women, and that's her business. I just care about the race. You know,
right,
how do we intertwine everything and loop everybody together when it's different? You know, looping them together now is justification for having these men compete as women. And you know, I think we should just do better in the way we describe it, you know, and
right.
not give these men a pass to now come in and compete against these women.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. A respect and shout out to everyone who is in the room. You are amazing. Hey, we thank you for being a part of Big J Let's Talk. If you have not subscribed, now is your opportunity to become a part of this channel that's growing and doing things because of you. Let me say this. Don't you think it's offensive and it hurts someone for them to be called a man? So then they have to put on a different atmosphere of understanding so people can look at them in a different light. I wouldn't want to live like that.
No, but what gets me is they complained about her. Oh, she has too much testosterone. But then they let these born males in, and not once did they ever mention testosterone. I mean, how could it be a double standard like that? And we just can't ignore it.
Right. And that's like when I did the show the other day, we talked about the decathlon, right? And a lot of people don't really pay attention to that, but that used to be a big deal in the Olympics in the 70s and the 80s. One of the greatest decathlons ever, decathletes ever, is Bruce Jenner. You know anything about Bruce Jenner, Nine?
Yeah, I know him, but is a other black guy. I can't remember his name, but he was very good at it also.
Right,
And
light skinned brother.
no, he
Right.
wasn't. And his sister ran too.
Yes,
and
I know
she
exactly who
was
you're talking
very
about.
good.
But
I
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Bruce Jenner, after a while, was married to the Kardashian mom. And he changed his sex and became a woman. His daughters are Kylie and Kendall Jenner. All right, and they are his daughters. But after a while, he said this is what he was always born to be. Now watch this. Even he said, even when I was running in the Olympics, I felt I was born to be a woman.
yeah,
People,
but do you think ESPN should have given them an award for turning into a woman? You know, and these are the kind of stuff you just have to watch and say, man, this don't make any sense. Now we're just
right?
giving somebody an award because now they want to be identified as a woman. I mean, come on, it's ridiculous.
Right, and I agree. Those women are women. They are women. They are women. We must understand that there are some individuals whose chromosomes are different, and their genetic makeup is different, but that does not single them out to be males. It's just a reality. But if we don't understand, that's why I go back to the old adage of what we used to call back in the day a hermaphrodite.
Could could could
Which,
could, could you go back one post? Go back
yeah,
one.
go ahead and do your thing, man.
I don't think Sha'Carri can beat any of the top three sprinters in the 100 or 200 meters. At this point, I definitely have to agree because she
Yeah,
really faded at the end. I don't want to call it quit. I'm trying to be diplomatic, so I'll call it she just faded at the end.
right. Yeah, I just don't see it either. Like I said, what I see in Sha'Carri Richardson is someone who's an image. And I know people keep telling me that Nike sponsors all the girls, but all the girls are not that image or that brand that Nike wants. If you look in Brussels today, the entire stadium was full. And it was full for basically one reason. That young lady who's Usain Bolt said that she is the next and upcoming star. And that's what Nike wants. They don't want anything else. They want that brand. You say, well, Big J, that doesn't make sense. Don't they want the best athlete? No, they want to sell their shoes. They want to sell their merchandise. And who gives us the best opportunity to
But
do
but
that?
but you know what? By saying that, Big J, we're discrediting the other runners because remember, every runner in the race, you have people who have migrated to America from those countries. So that could be the reason why the stadium was full, not because of her, because right now her voice is louder than her running. You know, so I can't give her credit for the stadium being full when we have all these people who have migrated to America and want to support their people. So I'm not going to give her credit for packing the
But
stadium.
I agree to you. But if you go back, because I recorded it and I'll play it on a later show, the television station was entirely talking about Sha'Carri Richardson. No one else. I'm not doing it. This is
Yeah,
what they were
but
doing. And
but
in order to say, go ahead.
but you understand the television station is actually going to be biased also. You know,
But
we
why are
try to
they biased? But why are they biased? Except it's for money.
no. It all has to do with money. If you could bring attention, attention is attention. Attention is going to garner sponsorship.
Right.
You know, so I can understand that part, but to give her the credit for the stadium being full, I think a misguided thought. You
No,
know,
but not that also, and that's what I'm saying. It's not from me. It's from other individuals who are part of the media. Hey, let's do this, Nine. Let's get to these comments because they're gonna get out of control again.
yeah, no disrespect. They are hiding men as intersexual in these events. We cannot prove Sha'Carri is a woman. You know what? I don't want to entertain those kind of stuff. You know, because people dealing in illusions right now, and I don't
But
want to.
it's an open forum. I'll read it. You don't have to. I'll do it.
Yeah,
We can't prove Sakari is a woman, and we can't prove she's not. But we support, but we suspect because we know what is going on. So what I'm going to do is I don't have to agree with the comment, but I'm going to read it as out of respect for those who are in the
yeah,
room.
but when you say suspect, that means your talking point isn't based in facts. You know, if you could bring facts, you know, Look, I don't want to read a lie, then I give a lie as an answer. Then we have two lies where people gonna walk away like it's facts. I don't think that's responsible.
And what we're going to do is that's why I put the link in the room because I'm not scared to dialogue with anyone. So I put the link in the room. So if you want to call in, hit that button and come on and call in. Let's talk about it. Oh,
Uh,
did I
go,
miss one? Did I miss one?
go back. Yeah, the
Okay,
level
go
of
ahead.
testosterone is only an issue when the women win the race. And you know what? I agree with that. If she was losing, nobody would say anything. But we also have to acknowledge that women with regular testosterone level are running faster time than men. So why would we think just because her testosterone level is high that she has an unfair advantage? I mean,
Right,
that's not realistic.
right, right. And I like what he said. I like what the comment says afterward. He said the other girl came in fifth and there was no issue. That's 100% right.
Yeah,
Here we go, right.
sometimes when your favorite lose, now you go to excuses to disqualify the winner. And I'm not part of the excuses. I cheer for the event. It was a great event, and the winner did a great job.
Hey, now is the time too. A lot of individuals had a lot of things thrown at nine in the comment section. We just want you to come on and talk. We're going to dialogue. There's nothing wrong with it. We're not going to cut anybody out. We're not going to boot you.
But
We
but
just
but
want to talk.
but but nobody could deny that my prediction was accurate. I said top four finish. And she was number four. I mean, I was nervous, but she pulled me through at the end. I don't have to hide today.
Yeah, man, I was shocked that Miss Jackson didn't take it, and that was my prediction. I was going on Miss Jackson winning, man, because it's just something about her persona that I said, "Wow." But wait a minute, is this true? Is this comment true? Because the things that I read, I'm going to explain it. It says she has natural testosterone. Let me go back
That
and find it. Go
that
ahead.
that
Go ahead.
that's who she is. But that's just like saying women with facial hair has high testosterone, so now they're half man. I mean, come on, man. That's very ignorant, you know.
Right.
But but you gotta understand this narrative wasn't handed down by us. It was
Right.
handed to us by Europeans who, unless you go with their theories and their logics and their beliefs, everybody else is wrong.
Right.
And I can never subscribe to anything like that.
It's a reason that when I do, and a lot of people go to the community page and you read our posts, we really appreciate you for that because that shows that your level of understanding goes beyond the dialogue in the chat room. You want to see what's going on. And one thing we do here, we talk about not giving in to trolls and not giving in to those individuals who come with false narratives just to disrupt the page. And I have to say this, Big J, let's talk. You do an amazing job of that. And most people don't even give the light to shines who do that. So I want to say we totally respect you.
But
Yay, I'm go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
the trolls and the misinformation, it doesn't bother me at all because I got to stand on the side of truth, and I
Right,
would definitely try to defeat a false narrative with my truth,
right.
so that doesn't bother me. Dialogue is dialogue, and in this day and time, a like and a dislike are equals. They weigh the same and they're valued the same.
Yes. And Shirley, I want to say this, Shirley. I agree with you 100% because that's how I saw it. I saw those three too. That's exactly how I saw it. And watch this. It was not a blowout race. So what? Hold on. If I'm living as a male, it seemed like I would have dominated the field, and it would have been a blowout race. But it wasn't. It wasn't.
And that right there disproves the narrative, because yes, she won, but it was close. It was
Right.
close. It's not like she won by 10 yards. If she won by 10 yards, then all the trolls would have been there. Yeah, we told you she a man and this and this and this. But by being so close, it's a level playing field.
Facts. Facts. Hey, do us a favor. We got almost 60, 70 people in the room. Make sure you hit that like button, please. Okay, we got another one. You got it, nine. You want me to get it?
No. Sha'Carri needs to change of team and sponsor Puma. Coach Glenn Mills can train her in Jamaica and get the best out of her. I think the talent is definitely there, but something is definitely missing, and a change might be what she really needs.
Facts. I agree.
She might not have trainers, she might have enablers, you know,
Right.
and that's a big difference. So I kind of agree with that statement.
Right. Facts. Okay, we got Julie on. Julie want to talk. Go ahead, Julie. Juliet.
Hi, how is
Yeah.
everybody?
Good. And yourself?
You're fine. How you doing?
I'm great. I joined late, so I don't know where we're at. I thought you said you were starting at 6, my guy.
Oh no, no. What we did, we started a little bit earlier because the race started here different. My time was different. So I was a little off. Forgive us.
Alrighty, so we see the results.
Okay.
So what are we gonna do now? We're gonna still keep pushing this girl, or we're gonna just gonna say it is for what it is. That it's only because of the controversy. And thank you for the controversy, because you're watching, everybody else is watching. There's a
Yes.
conversation.
Okay.
Yeah,
Everybody got it. Go
but
ahead, nine. You want to deal with it?
the worst thing about everybody watching it is it leads to exposure.
That's what
You
I'm
know,
saying. That's what I love.
yeah, and what's getting exposed is like, man, you're not good enough to talk. I can't ignore it. As much as I try to support her and defend her, I can't deny what's in my face. And what's in my face is she's not that good.
Well, why I came on Sha'Carri so hard is because I have a 16-year-old that's doing track. And this year I learned about Sha'Carri through her. And that's not the example I want for my daughter. I'm
Wow.
sorry. That's not
Wow.
it. And
Yeah,
Wow.
and
but
I and right after the Olympics, my daughter started talking like how I was talking. She started schooling me.
but
Wow.
why should we always be looking at an outside force to be a role model? We
We're
should
not
be.
looking for an outside force to be a role model, but there are forces that these kids look at when they're entering to something that they love. There's people that they admire. They're gonna admire people. So when you
Yeah,
admire somebody and you're looking into somebody, you're looking into their character. It's not just that she runs. It's the type of person she is. It's like Big J says, the hair, the nails. It's something people can relate
Facts.
to. And if
Facts.
she's doing
but
that,
but
I can do that. But I don't want to have the same attitude as her, because look how everybody's trolling.
but the family structure in your home should be strong enough to
Mhm.
overcome that and say, look, I know you like her, but X, Y, and Z is why you shouldn't support her. We
I
have
My
to we
family
have to
structure was strong enough that my daughter could decipher that for herself. That's my point. The example was just, as well as my daughter, there's many little girls looking out for her. Just like when she was little, she claimed she looked out to Flojo, and we look up to people. Everybody
Facts.
looks up to somebody. But the character, it's the character. You could run your heart out. You could run 9.2 seconds as a woman, but if your character sucks, who really cares?
That makes
and, and,
sense.
and you know what a lot of people gravitate towards the outlaw.
To
So
the negative.
the character is not gonna somehow lower her visibility, is actually going to increase it, because
No, no,
a
no, no.
lot of
I didn't. I
kids
didn't
a lot
say
of
it
kids
would.
like that rebellion you
I
know
didn't say it would lower, because we can clearly see it's not lowering. It's actually giving her more publicity. But the feeling you get about somebody that you admire so much, it's okay. Take track out of it. When Michael Jackson got talked about touching, the feeling you got,
Facts.
you love this man so much, but the feeling.
Yes, it took it
When
away.
R. Kelly's touching those girls, I love R. Kelly, but the feeling,
Yes, it took it away.
but
100%.
it
but
takes it
but
away.
but again, I got to give a disclaimer. I'm not the the person who idolize people. I'm just here for the event. So if it's a singer, a musician, a rapper, reggae artist, I'm only there for at the event. I don't put any more stock in it than it needs to be.
It doesn't have to be idolizing, my friend. It really
Let's
doesn't.
get
But if
let's
you're there, it's for something that you're taking from it. You're not gonna go to something because you want to not feel good about it. You're going because you want to have a good feeling.
let's get Hollywood on. He just came in. Go ahead, Hollywood.
Hey, Big J, it's
Oh
a
my God,
she.
Hollywood is a woman. Hey,
Yes,
Hollywood.
it's a she.
Yes,
Hey,
okay.
girl.
Thank you very
Hey,
much.
Canadian, so Hollywood North, you know.
Yeah,
Canadian
okay,
I,
got
Jamaican.
it.
I think
Got
you
it.
she's
know
in
what? I
Toronto.
have been involved. I was involved in track as a child, right?
Yes.
And I grew up in Canada. We don't idolize anybody here.
Thank you.
We just run to run. I got injured early, and I knew because of what was ingrained in me that track was just one thing. My idols were my grandparents, my mother, the women in my family that were doing great and amazing things. I never looked to any personality outside of the people in my family as heroes or as role models because it started at home. And when, but we're in a culture now that is so ingrained in social media where they post everything. If you get up and, pardon my language, fart in the morning, they put it on social media. So everything is about likes, 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 likes. Nobody's looking at anybody's character anymore. And what I want to say is that this young lady, Sha'Carri, I mean, she disrespected an entire country by liking a post. And these people are humble and hardworking. I was born in Jamaica, but I left at the age of 3 and started going back when I was about 15 to learn my culture, to become
Hmm.
ingrained in my culture, and to never forget where I came from. She doesn't have that. And until you know where you're coming from, you can expect somebody to have that kind of humility.
But
You know what?
I'm
but
gonna
let me
have to
ask a
agree with
question.
her.
Let me ask a question. But
Sure.
is it something ingrained, or is it something that she learned, or is she driven by money because of the cameras?
I think it's all three. I think it's learned behavior from America's a very, very different sort of place.
Yep.
When you look at Jamaica, a lot of Jamaicans, when I go to Jamaica, and I try to go there every year to give back to,
Hmm.
my family have a school program there and stuff, which we give back. And these kids, not everyone, but there's a large percentage of children who idolize what they see from American TV shows,
Yep.
from American music, and so on and so forth. And the parents are missing the boat. They're not sitting down with their kids and saying, no, you're not listening to that. My mom, I remember this when I went to my first time in Jamaica. I was listening to something and dancing it, and my grandmother grabbed me by the ear,
Hmm.
twisted it, and saying, what were you just singing? Do you know what that means? And I could not repeat things or sing certain songs or listen to certain songs, watch certain image. They were really in control of my life because
Uh,
my grandfather said, until you're 18, you're not an adult, right? So you learn, and it goes in psychology. What you learn before the age of 10 is forever ingrained in you
Facts.
until you're reprogrammed. So
Absolutely.
whatever she's doing now, how she's behaving, that's programming. That's programming. And she's 21. She is adult. She's an adult. She change? Of course, everybody can change. The only time you can't change is when you're dead, right?
Thank you.
We can all change,
But
but
Thank you
she
for the
needs to be
comment. Yes.
reprogrammed. She needs somebody to, as my grandfather would say, pull her up by the bootstraps and say, "Take those fake nails off, take that wig off, pull yourself together, and go about your business. Do what you're set here to do. Do
And see,
something with focus and
that's
purpose."
that's that's the difference in this country. And in America, we celebrate what's controversial. We celebrate
Yeah,
what's negative. And that's
yeah.
the unfortunate thing. There are
But
so many people.
unfortunately, it's
Go ahead.
it's it's falling
but
over into other parts of the world. You see,
Exactly.
because this is how we see Americans.
Right.
Because I would just like to ask Ali, because I too am like her. I came to Canada when I was 6 from Jamaica. And I
Mm-hmm.
have two kids. I have a 21-year-old and I have a 16-year-old. So I want to ask her, did you ingrain the same things your parents did? Because me, in the beginning, I tried not to. Oh my God, I remember it was so hard. I had to get on my knees and scrub the floor. I had cleaning day every Saturday. We had church Sunday to Sunday, prayer meeting
Mm-hmm.
on Tuesday. And I used to say, no, it was too much and I wanted
You
to
mean
relax.
was that the way I was also brought up? Well, to a certain degree. I don't have children myself by choice. I chose to work on my career, but I choose to give back to children
Mm.
programs, to my nieces and nephews, because I feel, for me, I don't think parenting is for everyone. I think
Right.
some of us are better at being
But
aunties and mentors,
Right.
right? So that's
but I,
my give back. So when
Right.
I see young girls look at me and they go, "Oh, I want that Chanel bag," or the, I say, "Sweetheart, you know how long and hard I had to work to get
Yep.
this? It ain't gonna come easy to you. You know how many degrees I had? You know how much I
Yep.
busted my ass in school to get all this stuff?" So, but at the same time, yes, I have this stuff, but my, I have focus and I'm disciplined, but that started early. You
Hey,
see
let's
that?
hear from
Let's
Yard
put
Man. Let's hear from Yard Man. We're gonna get everybody. Go ahead, Yard Man.
Big up Big J, manners and respect, to everyone, everywhere, every time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Big J, me I tell you a thing. When me a look at people that grew up in Jamaica.
Uh-huh.
There's one thing we know about is wrong and right. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And we have to think before we do something.
yep.
And we can't just talk anything or anything
Yeah.
or anywhere. We have to
Mhm.
deport. We have to curtail ourselves. You know what I mean? If it's an elder,
Yeah.
we have to say Mr. or Miss.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
What going on now in a Big J is a lack of respect, and the younger generation thinks that them can talk anything, anywhere, anytime.
Speak,
Check this
man.
now. Check this out now, Big J. Take a man like Usain Bolt here now. You see it?
Mhm.
See.
I come from nothing to something. In a one bush, in a Chilani. I come from a similar bush. Grew up with cow and goat and hog and everything. But if you see the way Usain Bolt talk to his father, like he's still a child,
Yep.
it's a respect is still there. But look where it takes him. It take him amongst great people.
Yes.
And you see the thing with the youth and the generation of today, it's a lack of knowledge of God. If you don't respect God, you not respect yourself.
Hey, let
You
me tell you
understand?
But
something. Let me say
don't
this. Let
you
me say
think?
this right quick. Hold on. Let me say this
Yeah,
right
yeah,
quick. Last night I taught Bible study, right? And my lesson was
yeah,
coming
yeah.
from Ephesians
Mm,
1, where it talks about
mm.
children, respect your parents. The
In the
biggest,
Lord, for this is right.
come on, the biggest thing is this: when there is not obedience taught to a child, that child
Hmm.
will never learn how to honor. Honor
For
comes
real,
because obedience. And where there's
for
no
real.
obedience, there's no honor.
Listen,
I
but
but
agree
I,
Big,
with you.
and
I
my
have a
my
question.
my, my Jamaican compatriots will say this. I remember, although I left there at 3 and started going back in my late teens, I
Hmm.
knew for a fact that anybody older than me was Miss and Mister. Okay,
Yeah,
if
man.
I did anything wrong, let me tell you, the whole
They beat
freaking
your
neighborhood
backside.
was beat me before I even got home.
Thank you. And that's very
Everyone,
true.
before I got home, my grandparents knew it.
Yep.
Before I got home, they had already called my mother in Canada and told her.
Yep.
My mother had
Hmm.
already called my uncles them, and the lineup would be great for who is gonna get me. So you knew how to behave and how to carry yourself.
Even on
It's,
the
Facts.
street, even as a teenager,
yeah,
Yeah, man.
Right here in Montreal, phone calls would get home before I got home, and they were waiting for you.
I tell
It's
you
I have
just a
something,
a
different.
question for
Go
In
ahead, Nine.
everybody.
Jamaica,
Go ahead, Nine. Hold on one second.
This,
Go ahead, Nine.
this is my question. You guys only have venom for Sha'Carri. What about the Olympic Committee making these men complain as women? I think that should be a bigger issue.
no, no, no. Okay, I have a lot to say on that because I'm a woman's right activist and stuff. You see, the problem with that is not the Olympic Committee. The problem with that is every single woman who allows that to
Thank
happen.
you.
Okay,
Thank you.
just
mm,
like allowed Bruce Jenner to be on the cover of a
Thank you.
magazine as Woman of the Year.
Yeah.
That to me is a no, no, no. In Montreal, the head of the women's movement was a man in
Yep.
drag.
Yep.
You don't call to
Wow.
me this whole thing transsexuality is an attack on women.
Thank
Until
you.
women get up and realize this, we will forever be pushed back. Look at what's going on in Texas now. Look, we don't have rights to in America. Your rights to your own body is being taken away
Mm-hmm.
from you, right? We across the world, the right to use the word woman is being taken away from us, where now we're told we have to put cis in front of woman. People don't understand the word woman. The WOM is from the womb,
Yes.
woman.
Yes.
Okay, so how the heck can you be a woman when you don't have a womb?
Real
How?
talk, real talk, real
How?
talk,
And I
real
don't have
talk.
any bias against anybody. Everybody should live the life they feel they deem necessary, but don't trample on my rights as a naturally born, God-given woman first. And I'm not taking away from these African women stuff, but my point is this. There's a white runner, Daphne Schnippers. Daphne is more masculine than a football player, but I don't see anybody up in arms about her when the few times she wins a race, right?
Facts.
So at what part, where are we going to draw the line, and when are we
You know
going to?
what it is? You know what it is, my friend? It's one rule for one and one for the other, you know?
Exactly.
One thing
I
is
agree
accepted one
completely.
way. If you're on the other fence, you don't accept it, you know what I mean?
No,
I
but
And
that's
just
it.
like
never,
I agree with Ali
and until
100%.
until we
it's
get
wrong.
a force and don't back down from your convictions. That's my thing. My grandparents have always said they should walk around with a bucket of water to put me out because I'm always on fire about something. I'm not afraid to speak my mind and to stand up for something. Stand for something or fall for anything.
Everything. Yep.
That is
You're a revolutionist. You're a
yes.
revolutionist, man.
Go ahead,
Respect,
Nine. Go ahead,
respect.
Nine. Go ahead, Nine.
The key
You,
word that was said earlier was programming. And
mm-hmm.
this is really, I don't care about red hair. This is what they're programming now. And it's like we just spitting the venom at Sha'Carri when it's bigger issue out there that's really gonna affect our future, you know, and I think we should
100%.
address that more than somebody's attitude.
Well, it goes
Yeah,
back to
but
this. Let me say this. Let me
Shakari's
say this. Let me
she's
say
being
this. Let me say this.
on.
Let me say this. It goes back to this. My stepdad was from Belize, so my upbringing was not that of an American male father. My upbringing was that of a Belizean dad, and it was
Mm.
rough, man. I didn't understand it a lot. I didn't understand why my boys did what I couldn't. I couldn't do what they did. I didn't understand how on Saturday mornings he made me get up. Let's go collect cans. Let me teach you how to work. Let me teach you how to be a man. Let me teach you how not to be lazy. Let me show you this. You need to learn how to cook for yourself. You never do this for you know. And I didn't understand, but I thank God today that everything this panel was saying, that's what he put in me. And it does matter. And these
Yeah,
kids now, when the kids are 14 and 15 and the mother's 28 or 29, it's a problem because there's
yeah,
no values that have been passed on from
Yeah.
generations to generation. So now we have an outcry of youth who don't care.
here, but Big J, it even goes further. It goes deeper with the whole Sha'Carri Richardson thing. It goes deeper. This is a smoke screen, okay, for
That's what I
Nike
said.
to hide the fact that they are one of the corporation who has the most um, uh, huge ton of violations for inequality, for
Yep.
sexism, for genderism, for racial bias. They
Yeah.
have a huge checklist of that. So put this girl out in the media like a clown, right? And it will and it will ask all the other crap that they do behind the scene. So all
Yes.
these black kids running around wanting to wear the Nikes and stuff. If you as a parent don't know these company what their philosophy is, you're feeding into that. You're feeding into that. I know everything that I buy. I know the philosophy of the companies behind it.
Well, if you guys remember, Avenatti was about to expose Nike till they locked him up.
Yes,
Exactly.
He was about to
exactly.
eat them up till they locked him up.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah,
All we have to do is look at Allison Felix.
Felix.
What she
Allison
said she
Felix.
went through. They wanted
Yep,
to cut her rate down to
yep,
77%. Said she
yep,
could not get pregnant. So she went and started her own
yep,
brand and is much more successful.
yep.
How can you
And
treat a
so this
decorated
whole Sha'Carri,
talent like that?
well, this whole Sha'Carri thing and why they keep pushing her in front of the media, pushing her, is just it's a smokescreen because there was a huge lawsuit set to be be filed against them just before the Olympics started. Right?
Facts.
Where did that lawsuit go? We don't hear about it anymore.
Facts.
We don't hear about it anymore. It's about inequality, marginalization, racism, a whole slew of things. We don't hear about it anymore because they put Sha'Carri as a little dancing clown in front of the media, and we forget about all of that.
Wow.
Babylon.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Babylon.
You see, people look at me and they think, oh, you live a charmed life, or they may look at you and think you live a charmed life or whatever, but they don't know the stuff you're fighting behind the scenes or even where you came from to live this charmed life.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
I find that this generation of the Sha'Carris and the little ones who sit behind the internet and they're afraid to show their faces, whatever, they have no idea where they're from, so they don't know where they're going. Okay?
Real talk.
Yeah, because a 16-year-old who doesn't know who didn't have any guidance gets pregnant, pops out a baby. She has no guidance into being a mother.
Facts.
How do you know how to be a mother when you were never mothered?
Go ahead, Nine.
Real
Go ahead.
talk.
Jump in, Nine. Jump in.
but this is the misconception. A lot of people think because you have success in life, you know that everything is good. But with people with success, we look back and like, man, if our people losing, even though it looks like we're winning, we're still losing also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, so it doesn't really get to our head because we see what's going on, we understand what's going on, and we hate what's going on. You know, but
And what our people forget is this: the media will build you up and tear you down just as fast. They've done it to black athlete after black athlete, black entertainer after black entertainer. They live this. This is what they do.
Let me get this comment. Let me hold on for a second. Let me get this comment from Truth Hurts. And what Truth Hurts says, will someone tell her that Nike sponsors Shelly and Elaine? And see, let me make this clear. Here's the issue. Nike sponsors LeBron James and half the athletes in the NBA. But LeBron James sponsorship is like no other. Why? Because of his name and his image. Watch this. Do you know how much LeBron James made Nike last year? $430 million. Exactly. So his sponsorship is not like everybody else. And he took 140 of that home.
And you compare him to that quarterback, I forgot his name, or to any one of the another famous athlete, but of a white athlete, you will see the disparity in what the black athlete get compared to the white athlete. And yes, they sponsor Elaine and Shelly, and they sponsor, but if you look at what they get, look what they get.
Look, hold on. One thing is, the media will willfully publicize what black athletes make, but are very silent on the white athletes. You don't hear anything at all about them.
Exactly.
They want us to tear those guys down.
Exactly. And they're the same ones who will they put these guys on the pedestal, and then as soon as they cough without covering their mouth or sneeze or fart, they start the process of tearing them down within their own community. I sit back and watch this.
Wow, Yard man, go ahead. You've been waiting. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. What I'm saying, and I'm listening to everybody still, and I think right now it's time for us black people to boycott Nike. And look at people like Elaine, Shelly, and all these people can get sponsors from other companies. They don't need to be loyal to these people who are not loyal to them. You know what I mean? Look what they did to Allison Felix, who is so decorated at the highest order.
But
and look, they just drop her like a bad habit.
Yep.
77%.
Yep.
That's nothing.
This
They don't leave her with nothing.
We
this
as
why I
black
look
people need to
look
boycott a lot of stuff, but we're too divisive as a
A
nation.
lot,
because
We're
people,
too divisive. We're not. We don't
but
gel. We don't do.
and we as
You see, the
black
thing is, until they know their worth, is the worth
Yeah,
we don't know our worth.
exactly. We
our
fight
work.
If
each
we
other
know
too
our
much.
worth in life,
We fight each
things will
other
be
too
different.
much.
but if
Because
you
You know what I
I
mean?
just look at Usain Bolt's comment. I mean, okay,
Mm.
his media piece. In the same breath, he could have said a lot to uplift Elaine and Shelly Ann and his Jamaican compatriots. He could have done it. He could have done
but
it, but why didn't
Easily.
He could have,
if
but
you
you notice they didn't ask him about it, and they
no?
barely asked him about himself. He's
Yeah,
Usain Bolt. They didn't even ask him
because
about
this is
him.
the girl of the moment, and this
Exactly.
is the narrative we want to push, right? So let's push this narrative, push it, push it, push it. It's like when I go into contract interviews, they always think it's some white man showing up because of my name, and then
but
I show up, and it's
if,
like, sorry, I'm a black
Can
if
girl.
can I ask you a question now, right?
Mm.
Like how she flopped twice in a row now. With this bag of talking finish now, put
No,
back to
they will
No,
history.
it's
find
not.
And they're
No,
excuses.
going to
They
still
will
hype her
find
up, and she's going to be on a losing streak now. For
no.
She's they're gonna
listen,
find an excuse. And as soon as she wins one mediocre race, they're gonna big her up again, like everything, because
Thank you.
she signed her what is it? She made a deal with the devil, right? And the devil
mm,
always flex.
Let me
can
say
I tell you
this. Let me say
something, you know?
this.
We
Let me
thought
say
she
this.
died down last week, and look how hot she got back
Ch-
this week just for
Do we
telling the
Check
know?
and
truth in a
see,
run.
Do we know? Let me say this. Do we know the power of Nike? Do you understand what's really going on behind the scenes? Watch this. Everything is based out of where? Eugene, Oregon. Where did Phil Knight go to college? Eugene, Oregon. Who
Mm-hmm.
sponsors all of Eugene, Oregon's athletic wear? Phil
Nike.
Knight. All right. So
Mm.
the Diamond League, who is one of the major contributors and sponsor? Phil Knight. So everything that's going on, he has the power to promote who he wants to. It's not
The mark of the
predicated on who
beast.
he endorses.
Mm-hmm.
I got something. I got something. I hate to drag you back, but we quick to say boycott. But what's the use of boycotting a European company and then we have to branch off and go to another European company for the same promotion? That's not solving the problem. You know, we're just going from one problem to another problem, making the other problem better than the other problem. I
Because
mean,
we need people in the legal field. We need people behind the scenes. We need people who are the legal minds to represent these people behind the scenes to make the deals, to do
it's
all
a
that.
little bit,
That's what we
little bit
need.
more than that because they done turned us against each other. So when we do try to push something, we don't support it, and that's why we can never have that freedom to really protest.
And
I
that's go ahead, go ahead.
so
Boy.
I think that's what they want you to believe, that you don't have the power to protest, just like they've done it with women to take the power from us. But there's power. Power starts little by little by little. Look at Rosa Parks, right? One woman sat on a bus, even though the signs were there,
But
blazingly saying
power,
no. But look at what one woman was able to do.
power starts with unification. And right now we're so far away from unification, you know, and we so brainwashed to just spend our money on their products to keep enabling them, you
It's
Then
know.
called
don't spend your money
it's
on it.
called it's called separatism. And what separatism does,
Divide and conquer.
you pay one athlete more, the male more than the female, to
Yeah.
keep the male away from the female. Like I talked about the other day, the decathlon. Why can't women compete? Why is women are out of suffrage? Why is it that women are still being held back in track and field? But see what they do,
Mm.
they give us the glory of Elaine, Miss Jackson, Miss Price, and now with Sha'Carri. But there's no glory if the women can't compete like a male can compete. Let them do 10 events. Let them prove who's the strongest woman in the world, but they won't do it.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
But the same thing, you know, even in the workplace, we got to face that in the workplace because when you work at businesses, they make the front look pretty, and then they have the so-called back of house where it's all dirty and dingy, and
The
that's where
belly.
employees dwell.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a lot bigger than we're really giving attention to.
The belly, right? Yeah.
Facts,
Oh,
facts.
boy.
But we have to realize this, that in corporate America, women have reached past the glass ceiling now. Now women are CEOs, they're executives, they're CFOs, they have position and entitlement that it took them 100 years to earn. Women couldn't vote before the 60s.
Oh,
So a
this
lot
is
of things
true,
have
Big J.
changed.
But you look at the okay, Big J. Yes, we are CEOs and entrepreneurs and owners of business and stuff. But you still look at if you look at what a female CEO in a Fortune 500 company makes in comparison to the or
But
predecessor, the
but
man, the woman makes less.
you,
Mm.
you
Facts.
know what? This is going to bring us all the way back full circle.
We need
Are
another woman liberation movement. That's what
are
we
are,
need.
are they parading these new women now to take away from real women? You know, we
Yeah.
have to think about that also. To take women's right away and give it to these new men they consider women.
Like putting one
Wow.
on the cover of a magazine and calling him woman of
Wow.
the year.
And giving him an
How
award.
many, but how many women wrote a letter to that magazine and boycotted that magazine and say enough? This is
Facts.
bullshit. How many of you did it? I did it.
Facts.
I got all my employees to do it. How many of
Facts.
we? How many? Not
Big
many.
J,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
you know, it's straight. I tell you, when I look at what's going on in the world now, you have these type of people going to be pastors, prophets, and this and that. It's just the Bible fulfilling its time, you know.
Yes,
It's the
sir.
Bible fulfilling, you know. For when God is not a God is not a spirit to go back on His word.
That's
And
right.
when God sink, I'm going to say sink, God Sodom and Gomorrah like the Titanic.
Yes.
He did it for a reason,
Yes.
right?
You
That means it's
you
not
know what?
right.
You know what? Really?
Why he made man and he made woman. He never made Adam and Steve. He made Adam and Eve.
Tell them again.
You
Look.
understand? You understand? He now go
Let,
around
let,
no
let, let,
corner. He must go straight. You
let,
understand?
let,
And
let me
when
read
you
this
see
part.
man now, when up is down and down is up, our our our, our compass is messed up. North is
Wow.
south.
Look,
Wow.
You understand?
And the
We
thing,
need to go back. We need to go back and search in our heart. We need to go back on our knees and start pray to God for a revolution right
let,
now. For people to start
let,
stand
let,
up for their right.
absolutely.
let me
And
If
I
we don't
wanted
stand
to
for a
say,
right, you know what? When you stand for your right, Big J, when you stand for your right, people say you're feisty.
That's right.
but let, let,
That's
let me
right.
read this part
But
from Truth Hurts.
if you make everybody walk over you, oh, you're nice.
Right. Facts. You
Let me
Don't
read
talking.
this.
him want to be nice a bit of jerk chicken. We don't want nothing else nice but jerk chicken. But when you come to stand for your right and being true to who you are, God only created man and woman. Everything's a male and a female, no in between thing.
and a lot of people
Let,
have to understand that North America, mainly like Canada, America, these places here, they live at lot of these islands and smaller countries. They don't do the same stuff we do. A lot of these
Mm,
places, things that we will embrace, they don't. They live in their
look,
religious
look,
worlds. They live in their means. They live how they've been raised. So a lot of the
mm.
things the world tries to push on
hey,
everybody else, it's not really the world. It's really North America, and
It
accept it.
is.
Go
can
And
ahead,
we
I
go back
nine.
to
Go
want
ahead,
to go
nine.
further and
Go
said
ahead,
it's
nine.
America.
Hold on. Which one?
can we go back to the comment from Truth Hurt? I want to read that comment.
Okay. All right. Right here. Go ahead.
Okay, this lady is confused. Rosa Parks wasn't the first to do it. They used her because they didn't like the lifestyle of the girl who actually did it.
Oh,
This is
no, no, no. There's
wait,
one thing I am never,
wait,
and I
wait,
speak what I
wait,
know.
wait,
I'm not confused. I know about the other 15-year-old girl
wait.
called
Let,
Claudette
let,
something or
let,
another. I'm not, but I use Rosa Parks because Rosa Parks is the one that everybody knows
yeah,
about.
but
So there's
let
no
me push back a little
confusion there.
bit.
Go
On,
ahead. Let
on,
him
on
talk. Go ahead.
truth. Let me push back a little bit. If you know something better, say something better. Don't criticize nobody. If you say, okay, this lady, it might be wrong, then say,
Facts.
okay, this was the first. Is a better way to do it than say this lady is clueless or whatever.
Facts.
You should be way better than that.
Yeah,
If you know something,
but you
say,
know
okay,
what? I know
Hold
my
on. Let him speak. Let
history.
him speak.
Sorry.
You know, and that's why I always got to push back, because we cannot let these comments go by, because now you have somebody following up saying, oh yeah, truth, facts and stuff like that. No, it's
Right.
not facts for you not giving somebody the whole thing. You know, we can't just go with a little piece of the book. Go with the whole book. If she
And say
says
you're
something
wrong.
wrong, say, man, this is it. You know, and then we could say, okay, this was my perspective. Sometimes it's just we don't understand each other's perspective, and instead of trying to understand, we just so fast to attack the messenger, and that's never right.
Good
But as
point.
I was saying, I know very well about Claudette. The first, my mother taught me about that. So I used Rosa Parks because everybody knows
Yes,
that
so
name,
the big
Rosa Parks. If I had
because the
thrown
big
in the
name,
name Claudette and I can't remember her last name.
we can't ignore the fact that the bigger name had the bigger impact.
Facts.
Exactly.
You know, so we can't just discredit Rosa Parks all of a sudden. Oh, she wasn't the first,
She
so
wasn't the
no,
first, right?
big name had the biggest impact.
Because she
Hey, you know
used
what?
that name across the world, and everybody.
You know what? Let's big up all of the freedom fighters who fight for us to be free today, you know? No
Yeah.
Thank
matter
you.
where they come from, we go through this struggle and we make it out on the other side and give thanks for that still, you know?
Yeah, well, we must understand this.
Yourself.
Since we quoted the Bible several times, right?
Mhm.
The Bible said the days are never going to get better; they're going to get wickeder. We
Yeah,
just have
yeah,
to be
yeah.
prepared to stand when this world is on fire, and it's going to in that direction now. What people will call good evil, and they will call evil good. We have to be able to stand and unify in truth. But if you don't know truth, it's a difficult thing.
And call
Real
man
talk.
and woman man.
Facts.
So let me the whole thing with this, my take on this, and I asked this for someone the other day. An argument ensued in the park, and I said, so if I get up tomorrow and I feel like I'm a squirrel, then and that's what I want you to refer to me as, is that right, or am I mentally ill? Like, which is it?
Let me
So
answer this. Let me answer this comment in the room. No, what happens when you're on a live stream? Sometimes you do digress, but the central theme is about those individuals who ran in the race today. But at the same time, there are subtopics to those individuals who run in the race, and I think
But
that's the part we're at now with
yeah,
everything
Sha'Carri,
that's
with some
being
of the other things.
everything that's being discussed somehow is relevant to the race.
yeah,
Facts.
Kaizen.
You know, so we're not just ignoring the race. We all watched the race. Some were happy, some were disappointed. You know, but all of this has to do with the race, because the race is just the illusion to show us a pretty picture why bad stuff is happening. We have to address the good and the bad.
Because there's many components to this race. There's the Shikari thing. There's the gender of the two Namibian girls. There's so many parts to this. So you can't really discuss one without looking at the other aspects of it, right? There's so
You know
many
what?
components to this. There's a
You know
media
what?
engagement. There's so many things.
You know what? I remember back in the days when I was living in Jamaica, I used to go to the boys and girls champs. That's like a mini Olympics.
Yeah, champs. I
I
And
go
keep
yeah,
champs.
boys
telling
and
Big J
girls
to try
champs.
watch it.
I used to save my lunch money about 2-3 months before
Yep.
boys and girls
The
champ to be on
champs.
that bus to go in there. You know what I mean?
Can
So
you
once a
take
year,
us back
and
about
I can tell you that when you go there, it was such a pride and a joy to go and watch our athletes run, and the respect which was
can
behind it. You know what I mean?
can
And
can
now when I'm seeing this, and I'm saying, is this it? Is this where all that goodness have end up? You know what I mean? When you have athlete like Shakari being disrespectful. For I tell you one thing, Big J and all of the massive. Anywhere you go in the Caribbean island, there's a coconut stand.
Yeah.
A jelly
Tell
man I sell some and they must sell fresh one too. And when they
Thank
done
you.
the jelly, you get the meat out
Nice
of it.
green jelly.
So
Gotta buy
yeah,
a
man.
can up
So
here.
guess what? When she thinks she
one comment,
disrespect Jamaica, she disrespect all the
one
Caribbean islands.
Let me say
You
this. Let me
understand?
say this.
And
I,
and you and
ho-
not just and you know the thing about it is that
Can we go back
The
one
people
comment, Big
ain't the
J?
people ain't. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, yard man, go ahead.
Well, the thing about it is that she's
No,
not.
no.
She think it's just.
One
She think
comment.
it's just Jamaica. But she disrespect all the Caribbean
Yes.
island, and she's not thinking and say, "Boy, you know what? I shouldn't be doing this. You know,
Let
this
me
is
read this.
wrong. What I'm doing. No apologies. No nothing."
There are
And
certain
she don't think it.
countries There are certain countries and certain people who take things personal, and thus they should. If that's how they were raised and that's their ways, and they understand it, and you insult that, that's almost calling for a fight. And I believe the proper way to deal with it is what we're doing today with the panel, so we can dialogue. And what we can do is come to a reasonable understanding of how to deal with her if she does this again. Go ahead, Nye, make your comment.
Yeah, yeah. They're using Sha'Carri to push their agenda right now. This what I would
Yeah.
say is what I would say is she can only be used as a distraction while they push their agenda. We can't blame the athlete for doing something that we don't have any control over. They're doing that behind the scenes.
But who are they?
No,
Let's
he
call
said,
they out for who they are,
yeah, but they
right?
said well, yeah, that's what I'm confused of. Somebody go ahead and please make that known.
Who are the
They're
they? I
the
know
they
exactly that they are, but does everybody who use that word they are using her to push? Who are the they? Call out the they for who they are. They are Nike. They are the media. They are the
Facts.
they.
Facts.
no, it's bigger than that. It's bigger than just two two companies, because two companies are pushing the agenda for people even bigger than those two companies. So we can't just single out two companies and say, oh, it ends with those two. No, it's a lot bigger than that. If it
No,
was
it
that
doesn't end
simple,
with them, but they are at the forefront. Of this
yeah,
controversy. And
at
just
the
because, and
forefront
another
of
thing,
it.
I saw somebody's comment about us jumping out. Just because people have debate and difference of opinion doesn't mean we're ripping each other apart.
Facts.
Absolutely. But that's why I like this channel, because I think we can have mature debates.
The
Facts.
all in the
I'm here
vibes.
because I don't want anybody calling me stupid because I have an opinion.
And you
The all in
respect
the
the other
vibes.
person's opinion to have that opinion, and respect the other person's opinion might differ from yours, but it's still their opinion and they have a right to it. Doesn't mean we're ripping each other apart just because we have difference of opinions.
The
Oh my
all in
God.
the vibes. It's just a
There is,
vibes.
yeah, let me say this. There is a behind the scene enemy to everything. You might not want to believe it, but there is. Let me go back and give a little history lesson. And
Mm.
in the NBA in the
Mm-hmm.
1930s and the 1940s, it was ran by the mafia.
Mm-hmm.
It was started by the MBB and the national something other, but they brought it together under all the mafia heads in 1940. And they had to introduce one black player at that particular time. There were no black athletes. They went after also Wilt Chamberlain, who played for the Harlem Globetrotters. It wasn't about their skill or performance. It was about I almost said something. It was about the money. Let me get the athletes it seems comical on the field, even though they have great basketball IQ and intelligence, because we want to sell the brand. Like I talked about Jesse Owens. When Jesse Owens went to Berlin, the first thing that lady asked him was, let me see it. He said, let me see what? She said, let me see it. What do you want to see? Let me see your tail. Everything is based on propaganda and misunderstanding. So we need these channels to come together and present
But
facts and
but
truth.
but now since you brought up the mafia, how can a casino say this team is going to win this game by 7 points and that team wins by 7 points if this kind of stuff isn't still going on?
It's still happening. We're being led by an unnecessary evil, and no one wants to address it. I might be put off the station or whatever, but I'm going to say it. There is an unnecessary. Watch this. When you have individuals on YouTube, right, and all they do, males who just keep going back and forth with each other, back and forth, cussing each other out.
Let, let,
I'm like,
let,
what is the big thing? But watch this. Those channels get the most super chats. Those channels get the most followers. Those channels get the most people. Why? Because people like what's controversial.
Go back,
Exactly.
go back, go forward one comment or back one comment. I want to read that comment.
About the mongoose gang.
We still love Sha'Carri the mongoose. Gang crime, you against. This is my thing. Why put your personal opinion in a comment? You know, you say we still love, and then you throw a negative opinion. I mean, that makes no sense. You know, listen, I'm disappointed by the way she ran today, but I care about the event. I don't care about none of this personal fingernail hair. We should be talking about the event, not this woman is a mongoose. I mean
And
that's not good. That's not
thank
good
you,
principle.
Nine. And she should learn her history about the mongoose in Jamaica. They were actually imported.
To kill
To kill
snakes.
snakes.
Thank you.
To kill snakes.
Thank
Yes.
you. She
People
need
you
to
need
get
to
out of
know
here.
they need to know your history.
Know
Know
your history before you come
coming
talk your
from
crap.
because you will not get to where you need to go if
Thank
you
you.
don't
Imported in
know.
from India.
But
Thank
From
you.
you know
India.
what? You know what? We've
Real
been living
talk,
a
real
lie
talk.
so much. We've been living a lie so long. People run with it as the truth and never take the time to research. They just want to go
Exactly.
by hearsay their whole life instead of researching for themselves.
But even so, when you try to educate our people, black people,
We
they
fight
become
against.
very
Thank you. That's what I was
defiant
gonna say
and,
to Big J.
and very they don't want to know. They
They
don't
don't
want to
want to
know.
Right.
know. And when
They're
and when
saying
you
that
try to tell
ignorance is
them, they
bliss,
call you
and
crazy.
they would prefer to live in ignorance and that bliss
There
of
you have
ignorance
it.
rather than knowing, right?
And what you have to do, you have to do this, and this is my opinion. And I appreciate everyone. When I say that comes from the heart. Since this channel began to grow, I've come under such attack. And you know what my reality is? I don't care. Because no matter
Exactly.
what you say or no matter what you do, I'm going to continue to do what God is birthing in me. So no
And
matter how, go ahead,
mm,
go ahead.
the only opinion about you that matters is your own.
Is your own.
Yes,
And I want to say this. I want to bring it back. Big J, you did a show about Tia and Tina Clayton, and you made the remark that their mom drank the sugar and water so they couldn't go to bed hungry. Big J,
yes,
none of us was offended because that's a thing for us. But it's the
right,
way how you presented it.
right.
You
It
I
was
got
understand?
you.
We
Sugar
can
and water
relate
nice,
because
you
we
know.
know that. I've had to drink sugar and water when I was going to school right here in
Wow,
Canada with my
wow,
two kids.
Look,
wow.
I've
You
had to
drink it
do it.
religiously.
can't say I've
go back.
ever had to do it, but
I
I
drink
drink
it.
not water.
But when you
Okay?
drink sugar and water, all you
We
want to
drink
do is
sugar and
sleep.
water. Water with
Go back.
nothing. Water with
Comment, Big J.
nothing.
Yeah.
I
You
Wow.
know,
mean,
if you're going to
Go
bed with that's why when you go to bed with sugar and
back.
water, you know, so when you drink it, you're just going to sleep.
You just go straight to
Yeah.
sleep. And that's
like
Yeah,
that.
I said
man.
in
So,
another
Yeah.
but like I
thing,
was saying, the way how Big J presented it to us, it didn't
it
make me
wasn't
feel
offensive. Yeah.
Right.
Look,
I'm
as
Because
telling you.
it
opposed to
because
some of the way people put their words in their context.
because the narrative was that these individuals had to struggle, but it didn't matter. They found a reason to make it aesthetic and put it around themselves and take what they've been through and to break out of it and to become greater. That's what I believe in. I
Because
believe
there's
the
no
more
excuse.
yes, I believe the more you go through, the greater your reward and blessing is. That's just me.
There's just
let
no
me
excuse. My mom told me there is no excuse to failure. No excuse at all. So I
It's a
grew up
choice.
knowing that. There is no excuse. I have no excuse but to succeed. And no matter how much I fail, pick yourself up and try again.
Keep
There
it
you go.
again.
Go
Don't
ahead,
make
Big
Nine.
talk,
Go
big
ahead, Nine.
talk, big
Go ahead,
talk that.
Nine. Let's deal with this one right
the
here. Go ahead, Nine.
Carol FB commented that Nike is American. Yes, Nike was formed in America, but Nike is now an international company along
hmm
with all other companies. And they're pushing what they're pushing all over the world. And with social media, we
hmm
can't now isolate any company into just one space because everybody is everywhere right now.
And might
Mm.
I add that my son in Montreal, Canada, 21 at McGill University, their uniforms are made by Nike.
Bravo to McGill. Big up, McGill.
Yeah, his first year. I'm gonna get my drip
Congratulations.
now so I could go to the
Bravo.
game.
Congratulations.
Thank
Go
you.
on, do your thing. Big up, big
I
up.
can't, but I can't see his game. I don't have my double vaccine. I'm gonna go get my first one now.
You
Okay.
know, Big J, I told you I'm going to invite you to Jamaica
Yes,
with
Yes,
yes.
soon as the
Okay.
ban lifts and everything, and I feel comfortable to travel,
Can,
so that
can,
Yes.
you can go around the
can,
island and see and meet these people,
Yeah,
Yep.
I do.
more people.
We want to.
can
Definitely.
just
It's an experience that you will never forget.
I believe you.
can
I
we read
believe you.
go back one comment,
Okay,
Big
go
J,
ahead.
because
Good.
it's
Okay, let
important
me
for us
see.
to be fair to everybody.
Is it brown sugar and water? Hold on. Which
No,
one?
no, go back one, go back one, go back one.
Is it this one?
Yes, yes. We need to read it because we don't want somebody to get demonized for us misinterpreting what the person said.
Boy. Okay, sorry,
You know,
Sharon. Sorry, Sharon.
so Sharon, we apologize. We deeply apologize because we thought you meant one thing, but we were the one who were inaccurate with our rebuttal.
Facts.
Sorry,
Big up
Sharon.
Sharon.
But
And
another,
that's what I love about this channel. You see, communication is
Yes.
key.
Mhm.
Yes.
Here's what I want to know though, and Big J, because you have this platform, so I can categorize you in media form, right?
Uh-huh.
Why aren't we talking about Sharika, about Dana Asher? Why is and Elaine and Shellian? Why is
But
so much emphasis placed on
yeah,
a girl who hasn't won a race?
Go ahead,
can,
Nine. Then
So
I'll
many
answer. Go ahead,
people.
Nine. Then I'll answer.
as a business entity, you have to do what's best for your business and what's going to garner more attention for your business. We know the other ladies are better, but right now the other ladies aren't selling as much as Sha'Carri. So we have to also understand the
Exactly. I
business
just wanted you to
aspect
put it out there.
Yeah,
of
it's
everything.
trending. She's trending. She's
I just
trending.
wanted
But
you to put it
but
out
but
there.
watch this. On
I,
my channel, I make sure I highlight everyone. Now
yeah.
tonight and tomorrow, I'm gonna highlight let me pronounce her name right. Gerdina, but her Asher Smith.
Geraldina,
There you
Adina
go,
Asher
Asher
Smith.
Smith. Yes. Now we're gonna because I didn't know that girl could run like that.
She
But
goes
that
by Dina
but
Asher Smith.
that's why I don't mind the publicity Sha'Carri is bringing, because I could have told that Big J he wasn't really into everybody like that. But look how he's doing his research. So let them
Yes,
talk about her, because they're
True.
bringing in people like Big J.
exactly.
If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't know Miss Hollywood and North. I wouldn't know Mr. Yardman. I wouldn't
This
know
is
Big
true,
J.
right? Yes.
Yeah.
It's true,
Yes.
Jano, because no, I was over by Kwame's page being miserable. The fuck?
This is
I'm
true.
here now.
Yes, yes.
Me
You
and
understand?
I
Yep.
just think that there is just so much emphasis on losing, right? I just think there's so much, it's almost like you're rewarding bad behavior
Yes.
and loss.
No,
It
no,
is.
I wouldn't say that because her
No, I'm not
running.
saying Big J or these channels. I'm
No,
saying the
no.
media, the
What
amount
I'm
of
saying,
hype she gets, it's a reward for bad behavior and for
yeah.
hype
But
and all this.
But I think that's just in the world in general, because even in little amateur sports now and stuff, there is no one, two, three. Everything it's you get praise for participation.
You're right.
Right.
yeah,
As long
but
as you
her
participate, you're okay. You don't have to win. You don't have to be the winner. You just have to be here and participate. And that we've
but
lost that too.
I
bad
know. I
behavior
know. I got in trouble because my nephew plays hockey and he should have gotten MVP, but they gave it to everyone. And I thought this is
Yeah.
bogus. You're teaching a kid then not to be competitive. Why bother?
Why
Why go
bother?
out and put in your best effort if I'm just going to get, if everybody on the team is going to get this?
Thank
This is
you. No,
bogus.
everybody get this participation thing.
but
So kudos for points for trying.
I
I'm
Yeah.
would
telling
say
you, the people that don't want to face the facts about Sha'Carri, they're gonna tell you, say, oh well, she came fourth, she's doing better. Yeah, she came fourth, but they're not looking into the facts of how she came fourth, what was in the field, the things
Who
like
was in
that.
the field? And it was not, it wasn't even a photo finish fourth. It was a
No.
distant fourth. It
And
was a
and
but
I,
distant
I
but
fourth.
and
Hello.
through my eyes, I would like to say fifth would be coming up if there was another 5 meters, 5 meters. 'Cause
You
five
know the
was
thing
coming
about
right
it?
up underneath her.
If, if you
what
think about
what
it,
I would say what I would say is she's not being highlighted, she's getting exposed. Bad behavior can persist when you can hide it. But by
No,
her being
but when you get an athlete of the quality of the spectrum like Usain Bolt, who's saying he loves this behavior that she's highlighting for,
no,
I
no,
just think
no,
somebody needs to slap some sense into him. Like, give me
no.
a break. This is
But
not
Ali, I'm
good
couldn't answer no
sport.
other way. Jano, I'm couldn't answer no other way.
Yes,
But
there you
yeah,
He
go.
he
couldn't.
could have.
He couldn't. If he did
No,
answer
she's
any
not.
other way,
He
they
could
would have eaten
simply
his
have
food.
said, "This behavior is not good for sport. It's not
No,
good for
I
sport."
completely understand and I agree with you, but think about it in the sense of what we were talking about today. If Usain Bolt is supposed to say anything about her, imagine the backlash for that.
That's true.
They can't afford for him to say nothing about Usain
No,
Bolt, the
I
greatest.
hear what you're saying, but I'm
But
just
remember,
stand
on the
for what
other side,
he is. I totally believe.
right?
Mhm.
This
Look,
is
look.
Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
He have 3 world records,
Mhm.
and this forgive me, but it's like a nobody.
Mhm.
This is respected all over the world. So
Yep.
what Usain Bolt would have said would have always matter. But remember,
Exactly.
Usain Bolt is a role model to the sport.
Bravo.
He represents the sports. If you say track and field, you say Usain Bolt.
Everywhere
You
you go.
understand?
One comment. Can I answer that
And
comment?
the thing is, put it this way: he could have said something, but he didn't say anything, and he might have
Let
his reason why he
me
didn't say it.
comment.
But the thing is, with Sha'Carri now, the next 2 or 3 races she run is very important. If she loses those next 2 or 3 races, what is up going to go down for her now. For people, she's going to fade away and it's going to be a wannabe.
Oh,
But
it's
Okay,
the
so
over.
thing is,
It's over for
This
her this
200
year.
meter, the
It's
200
over.
meter, 22:45 is what under you have kids under 20
who runs that?
clocking
no,
22.
no,
Yeah.
go back and
This is
read the
nothing.
comments.
22:45 is nothing.
But
And
again,
and
One more.
and for all the
Hussein will
Nike
not.
contracts that we're talking about, if she don't keep her
Go
times
back one
that she's
more.
making, they take money off for that.
Yes, they do. And my thing is, I was in
Uh,
Nepal, and
uh,
people there know who Hussein Bolt is.
Yeah.
So he have this platform to say something, and that's what he chooses to say.
Let me say this.
I don't
Nine.
know.
Hold on. Hold on. Nine. Go ahead.
go
I'm a
back and
massive fan of you saying.
I
Okay.
want to
Go
read a
ahead.
comment.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. What is the one who will remain nameless selling? I am still trying to understand. They're selling men as the new women. That's what they're selling.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere.
And you gonna buy it.
Fair. And with you men, speaking on that, this fight for women, if you men have daughters and sisters and mothers, you better join that fight because
Yep.
it's going to affect women that you know.
Yep.
Yeah,
That you know.
this? Can we read this? Sha'Carri bringing Jamaicans and African Americans together. That's just the start of a great relationship. Trust me, and that's absolutely correct because it has unified a lot of people. So sometimes good come from bad behavior.
That's true because I didn't know Big J until this whole thing
No,
started.
I didn't either. And I'm
Right?
telling you, it's been
Me too.
refreshing. Tunnel vision.
Hey,
Yeah.
could I say something? I struggled. I only been on here for almost a year, but I struggled on YouTube. And the funny thing was, the moment no one else was doing it, I started researching and I looked at Sha'Carri Richardson. It's like the algorithm said, "Here, you have it. Nobody else is dealing with it." Now
Well,
everybody's dealing with it, but it said now you take off. I'm like, okay, so I'm going to
right.
focus.
Well,
And
for me, it was just the way how you corrected yourself.
right,
Yeah.
That was it. That's what reeled me in. Subscribed right away.
right,
To
yeah,
me,
One
like
time.
I
You did it
told
with
you, you
such
reminded me of
humility.
an
I had
uncle.
to subscribe it.
right. And we appreciate it so much. And we just try
Big
to
J,
bring the
big up
truth.
yourself.
You remind me of an uncle that I always wanted.
Yeah, but
I
believe
think
it
I
or
wrote
not,
that in one of them comments. They remind me of one of
yes,
like just
yes, you
somebody.
did.
You're a good
Believe it.
storyteller, and that's why we love you. I'm telling you, real people know how to take sense from nonsense. That's another thing Jamaicans love to say. Take
Yeah,
Right,
man,
sense
a big
from
word
the
that.
nonsense.
Yeah.
Excellent sort of nonsense.
But my
and here,
grandfather always said common sense is only common to you, not to
Yeah,
everybody else.
but I'm gonna
not
tell
to
you this.
everybody.
I'm gonna tell you this. The one who helps me the most is from Jamaica himself, and that's Nine.
There
I'm
you
telling
go.
you, he presents things to me that I don't understand in the way like my dad used to where I have to be respectful to my elder. It's not even
Mm,
about me. If you notice, I keep giving him the platform because
mhm.
he brings a level of peace. And even in the chat, I don't chat that much. That's Nine doing it because he brings a different understanding. For those who don't know it, he is an author,
Mm-mm.
and we'll allow him to say that when he's ready that he's written several books. So
Oh, wow.
God made sure he sent the right person in this
Yeah.
channel to make sure to help.
Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, Jay, thank you for picking up Shelly Ann's book.
Yes.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you
Yeah.
very much for doing that.
Oh.
Hey, right. Hey, look, I'm about to say amen. I can't help it.
Oh.
Amen.
So Nine, you need to
And
put out your books too, so I could go on Amazon and support.
actually,
Hey, you're in Montreal.
I am, and I would like your contact so I can help out with you helping out in Jamaica. I don't have nobody there, so
Of
I just go
course.
to
Wow.
visit and have fun. But I would like to give
Yes.
back.
Yes, that
absolutely
Wow.
would be awesome
America.
because we're also building an animal shelter.
Oh,
So
good
that's
for you guys.
great.
Wow.
I would love to give back. I'm from Clarendon, by the way.
Oh wow. My family's from St. Catharines. So
See there.
Saint Anne.
St.
Actually,
Anne,
my
big
book.
up St. Anne. Big up
Yeah,
Niagara.
man. Bless,
One
bless,
one thing
bless.
with
Likewise.
Jamaicans and most people from the Caribbean and even Canadians, when black people win anywhere in the world, it's a win for all of us. And I
Oh
don't
Yes.
find that with Americans. I
no.
find you take your wins for yourselves. But when Obama became president, it was a win for every black people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and
No.
and it's
It,
too,
the
and
win,
Americans
the
are very
win.
divisive. You ever wonder
Divisive.
why we're the only ones that don't have reparations? Holocaust was 44 days. Them Jews be getting money like
Yeah,
nothing.
Wow.
but
But
Go
didn't
ahead,
you
Nine. Hold on
guys
one second.
make
Go ahead, Nine. Go ahead,
monthly
Nine. Go ahead, Nine.
reparations?
Go ahead. Hold on one second. Go ahead, Nine.
yeah, we can't use Obama win as a victory because there's a lot of destruction came when he was in power, and we can't be responsible people and ignore that also.
No, that's not that. It's
Exactly.
not in that context I meant, Nine, but I meant in the context of it's the skin color.
Now that's
Yeah, but
facts.
but 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 again, we have to look at right or wrong, not color, because we
No,
can't
I understand. I didn't.
have
No, no,
color
no.
eye.
I listen. No, no. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't a fan of his presidency. He deported the most Jamaicans. Don't get me twisted. In 2016, I was there.
Come
But I'm
on.
just saying the color of the when he won on that color, we were happy. But you understand what I'm saying, Q? It's just not that
A
happy that he was
milestone.
president, not that he did great things. We were happy for each other. I
Yes.
And
don't find
hopeful.
that with Americans. I find that they separate themselves. You're from the South, you're from the here, you're from the there. We're all black.
Facts. Facts.
And we're
Let,
all presidents and queens,
We're all that. We're all this.
You
let
know
me
what?
go ahead.
We got,
Go ahead,
you
Doc.
know, we got to big up our black empresses. You know, we have let them know they're woman of value. You know, what I mean, they're the present and the future. We got to let our black queen know wherever
Thank
you touch a track, everywhere going to be burnt up. You know, and we
but
love you and we respect you.
and
Whether in
and
the
this
yard or abroad, wherever you are, you know, a black woman is a
mhm.
virtuous woman. You're a queen, and that's the way it should be treated. You know.
Let me say this. This is
It's not
why
that.
I got irate with Usain Bolt, okay? Because I'm like, I'm so tired of black men not giving black women their due and only celebrating the black woman with the long fingernail
Hmm.
and the attitude and all this.
And the
What
lace front.
Can
and
I
I
understand?
get tired of that. I get so tired of this because I see it all the time. I see it all the time, right? I hear from people who goes, "Oh, you sound white." Why? Because I'm educated, like
Let's
or
let's read this
different.
one about let's read this one about Usain Hope. Bo, go ahead.
Usain Bolt, Usain Bolt can say whatever he wants. He should have done better. He did
Yes,
not. Wait. He did not interview himself. Somebody interviewed him. During the interview, they asked him a question, and he answered it the best he could. We cannot blame him for being politically correct.
mm, mm.
Was
I
there a
disagree.
dollar amount behind that
All in
interview?
all, buy that.
I don't buy it. I
All in
disagree
all,
because
buying it.
I
All in
look
all,
at this.
taking that.
You have the platform. You have the platform. I don't care who's interviewing you. I don't care if they.
Yeah,
You
all in
have
all, buy
a
that.
platform. You
You
can
know, buy no pussy in a bag.
No, all
you
in
can
all, buy it.
speak. He's known everywhere. There is not a country you go to and they don't. You say Jamaica and they go Hussein Bolt and they do the Bolt sign. Heck, I was in Nepal hiking on a mountain.
The
Everybody
biggest
knows
Tokyo
him.
commercial was of Usain and he wasn't running.
Pardon?
The biggest Tokyo 2020 commercial was of Usain Bolt and he wasn't running.
Exactly. So he had the platform to say something, and instead he promotes this ridiculous girl who hasn't won a single medal, who hasn't won on any world stage.
He didn't promote her.
He promoted her.
God, all it does to it been a little.
Okay.
Go ahead, Nine. Go ahead, Nine.
From 94, that's a stretch. It seems for whatever reason, the media or the track and field organization boosted up Sha'Carri to too fast as a gold medal Olympic champion. Yeah, we were all lied to.
You know? Yeah, because she's selling their product. Okay. Facts. If you look at all the sponsorship, if you were watching it on TV, the Nike sponsorship was out of the world. Commercials. So, of course.
Is Anthony Brown's comment right? Should he just have said no comment?
Okay. Yes, no comment is better.
But ask yourself these questions, because Sha'Carri signed her Nike contract in 2019. If Nike wasn't pressured into, if the media wasn't pressured with the let her run at the Olympics, would Nike have dropped her if there wasn't that pressure?
Maybe. So. Who's to say? Nobody knows. But
there you go. So
my thing is, Hussein could have said no comment, and then in that process, if I was him, I would have said no comment. But did you see what Elaine, Shelley, and Sharika have done on the track? Let's talk about the winners.
And see, that's what made it. That's what made it non-truth because hold on, let me say this, that's what made his comments not true because he knows those women from Jamaica are the fastest in the world. So to be politically correct and support Sha'Carri, that was an economic thing, in my opinion.
Yes, you don't get paid to say.
But he's not a Nike runner.
Don't have to be. When you're an Olympic 3-time world champion, money's coming from everywhere.
This is true, but at the same time, there has to be integrity, right? Integrity. And to me, he just lost a fan because...
You know what? I was about to say, I can tell you're a big fan of...
Yeah.
and that's why you're getting so emotional about it.
Yeah, because you know what? Last time I was in Jamaica, I saw little boys in the country communities running because they want to be him. They want to be him. So you have this platform. You don't big up some girl who has not done a single thing for the sport and given her the accolades saying that she's bringing attention to the sport. Sorry, dude. No. The 2-time Olympic champion was why people was watching to see.
You know what, Ali, you convinced me. You're right.
Give me a break. Right. You don't do that. Like, what is wrong with him?
You're right. You convinced me. You're right.
Why? I tell you something. We need popcorn to say we still a win and a run the thing.
I'm not playing with popcorn right now.
Look at what Gargamel said.
No, you misunderstand me. We say they need popcorn to say we still a win and run the thing.
Oh. Can you read what Sharon Terrell said, which is a really good thing?
This one or another one?
The other one.
Oh, yeah. Right here.
It went back.
More?
No. Go forward. Don't go back.
Okay, I got this one right here.
Go forward.
Okay, and then I got this one right here.
No.
Go
forward.
No, it's no more forward.
Well, I think it's back. Go back.
Okay, let me go back some more then. Okay, let me go back some more. Wow. Okay. I can't find her. That's why we got to get the right moderators. We're about to hand out those wrenches. Yeah, that was. Well, do anybody know what it said?
Well, the comment was basically they have Sha'Carri playing the role of the black women stereotypes.
Oh, I know what you're
And
talking about
Exactly.
now.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
kind of agree. I kind of have to agree. The loudmouth black woman
Yes.
who talk but does nothing.
With the
You
long
know,
fingernails and all that. Yeah, she's playing the stereotype and she played it to a T. And someone further said, well, Shelly Hand wore wigs in the Olympic too, but there's a difference. You put them side by side, there's a difference. I've never been a fan of Shelly Ann and those crazy wigs, but there's a difference. There,
she's class.
it's a different thing.
Yeah,
It's
Shelly is class and she's
or
outclass.
smack her outfit or something. For whatever crazy reason, like she's selling her or making sure her store is on. I don't know, whatever it is. It's a different thing. Shelly Hand never came off as a loudmouth, ghetto type stereotype. She didn't. No one could ever
None of them do.
or any of them of that.
They don't even have the persona of
Can,
Usain Bolt. Because if
can
you
I say
watch
something
Usain,
to you?
yeah, let me say this. If you watch Usain run, Usain was the biggest entertainer on the track field. That's why I
Yeah.
put that one image where he's racing everybody and looking at the camera smiling. Go ahead, Yard man.
I'll tell you something. Shelly and Fraser, right? She's
Yes.
from the real, we talk about hood. I'm talking about real ghetto. She's
Wow.
from a place they call name Waterhouse.
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 Yeah, man. Listen, if you're going through Waterhouse, you have to go make sure by 5 o'clock you leave in certain
Thank you.
places. You understand? You don't go
Wow.
them places. You understand? But you see,
Listen,
not because you're from a certain neighborhood, it don't mean that you don't have class. And she represent class. She represent the sports. You understand? So I wouldn't even compare her with Sha'Carri because there's no comparison. She's class and Sha'Carri is outclass.
what I would tell you is I was working
Yeah.
in Memphis, Tennessee, and the owner of the store tell me, "Hey, in this city, we gotta shut down at 7 o'clock because that's when the thieves come out. So the hood is everywhere. One hood ain't bigger than the other one. We face challenges no matter where you are."
I'm not saying
Nine.
because
Hood Jamaica
I'm
and
not
Hood
saying
America
that,
is
but
not the
I'm
same
telling
hood.
you because I know this hood myself, and I'm telling you, this is serious.
But like the Trinidadian said, it's about brought up, right? It's how
That's
you're
it.
Yeah,
brought
the
up.
way brought up, and
And
she
you
So the
have
brought.
to
brought
understand
up.
too, in Jamaica, it's mostly politics, and our difference in politics can be sometimes separated by less than a block.
Wow.
Yeah,
You understand? The
offense,
next house could be a PNP, and mine could be a JLP.
JLP.
We're killing each other.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that was stated there was that from an impoverished situation, here comes a young lady with class out of a situation that
Mm,
most would be called ghetto. And this is why I often tell people that ghetto is not a place, it's a state of
It's a
State of
mind.
it's a
mind.
Because if
state
that's
of
the
mind.
case,
But
and
but
that's the
but
case, she can't come out of the ghetto. She wouldn't be as
Mhm.
great as she is.
but
Doctors wouldn't come out, lawyers wouldn't come out. So it's not a place, it's a state of mind.
Anywhere
but
can
but
be a ghetto.
if you check, I can talk for Jamaica. If you check most of the celebrities from Jamaica, they're from the ghetto. That's why we call them ghetto superstars.
Beanie
that
Man sang
All
out Waterhouse, a song about Waterhouse.
Yep.
yeah.
Well, my kid's dad is from Waterhouse. Ollie, are you in Montreal?
No, I'm in Toronto.
Oh, okay. I was gonna tell you, go
Yeah.
check out
What's the
One
web?
Stop Caribbean, best food in town.
Yeah. Well, no, you know what? I haven't had any Caribbean food in a really long. The only
Okay,
time
y'all making everybody hungry. Y'all making everybody hungry.
I'm
Oh,
really young.
steamed fish tonight for supper. Steamed fish or okra and crackers.
I don't eat
So
anything with.
show off, you know.
I only eat.
Then go
My
on.
friends call me. My friends call me the the academic Rasta because I don't eat anything with a heart.
Yeah,
Oh,
ital.
poor thing. Well,
I only eat from the earth. I only eat greens and
No, give
things
me
that
some curry.
grow.
No,
oh,
give me
Yeah,
so
some
you need
ital,
to
curry,
go
some
support my
curry
ital.
goat.
son. This kid is driving me crazy. He only eats vegetables now.
Well, good for him. Longer
Boy,
life.
No, give me some
Yeah,
curry goat. I'm good.
but
oh
but
hold on.
boy.
in a ghetto, the mindset you can be anywhere and be and have that mindset. It's how you're brought up, right? It's how you're brought up to face adversities and to walk with your head held high. It's self-esteem, because I go back and I look at that interview with her, and I see somebody with very low
self-esteem. Yep.
Very low self-esteem.
Yep.
And I go back, I want to mention this.
Which one?
I myself eat once every 48 hours, and I eat my dinner at 11 a.m.
So do I. You could come over. I eat dinner I only eat once a day, and I eat at 11, usually between 11 and 11:30 a.m.
I eat once every 48 hours, and after 48 hours, I'll eat one meal, 11 a.m. in the morning. That would be my dinner.
Oh, wow. I'm not there yet.
Nah, I'm a pig. I eat.
Yeah, I can't. My name got to be Big J, so I got to eat.
Hold on. This food thing is good. What happens is do you understand how your gallbladder works?
Nope.
No, I don't.
Nope.
What happens is when you consume too much, your body never gets to rest, because your body is always breaking down food, and that's part of the reason why you wake up so tired in the morning, because while you're supposed to be resting and healing, your body is fighting to break down foods, and that's why you don't have energy. You're so tired because all night your body just been constantly working trying to break down food. But once
I understand that, but you're starving your body. I would understand if you ate once a day, once every 24 hours, but once every 48 hours, that seems to be putting your body in a state of malnourishment.
Think about this. Lions only hunt when they're hungry, so they're hunting on a hungry stomach. They don't hunt when they're full.
But we're not lions. We're not lions. Our physiology is not even the same.
I want to deal with something right quick. Hold on, Nine. Hold on. I want to deal with something right quick, because we have individuals talking about food and other things. There's a person in the room that says, I need my iron. I can't see it. Or else my iron levels. Go ahead, Nine.
My iron levels good. Only
okay, so
but let me answer this.
Hey.
Is that person on medication? Because a lot of times with the medication, now you'll be dependent on stuff like iron because of the medication. So we can't just say that as a food issue. That might be a combination of food and medical issue.
Listen, I suffer with low hemoglobin, and when my hemoglobin gets to a certain level, I have to rush to a hospital and get an iron transfusion. Sometimes a blood transfusion, and I will not eat meat. And they've told me over and over, you need iron from meat. I said, oh well, I'm not gonna eat it. So
banana.
That's something that I recently started eating because my grandmother passed away. And when I was down prior to that, my cousin, who is a total health freak, Rastafarian, he told me, he said green bananas, and callaloo and stuff. So now I make sure that I'm eating enough green bananas. I used to eat a lot of spinach and kale, but doesn't have the same amount as green bananas. So I'm making.
You don't do seafood either?
No, I use seafood. If I go to Jamaica and it's caught fresh and I could see turn around, but I will not eat it here in Toronto because you go in, you don't know how long that's been there. Did you see the article the other day that every seafood, that 80% of the seafood in the stores being sold are fraud?
Yeah, they're from the farm.
Yeah.
That's why I don't eat salmon no more.
I'm like, well,
no more.
Let's read this. Let's read this comment in the chat. Go ahead, Nine.
Is it possible that we're being too hard on her, especially my Jamaicans?
No.
She is young and was never raised and poised and polished. She will get there.
No.
What's your big girl?
No.
20
not young.
No.
Big J.
Yes, sir.
She a big grown ass girl.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
She should know right from wrong. If you start sinning from your 13 years old, that means you should know right from wrong from your 13 growing up. You
Ignorance
understand?
is no excuse
It's
for
ignorance.
no.
Let me show you
You
where
should
there's
know
a
right from
difference.
wrong.
Let me show you where there's a difference. In her first interview, she cursed, right? In the second interview yesterday, she was calm and polite.
Mm,
So she
yeah,
knows the difference. It was
Actually,
that's it.
just
Big
a
J,
choice.
I meant to write you a comment about that. So I watched her whole interview. I know she was still snazzy. She was talking about, oh, if I was at the Olympics, we all know what would have happened.
Oh
She just
wow.
You weren't there. You know, that's
thank
my
you.
Wow.
I
on
watched
the
the whole
interview. I thought,
interview.
but you
No,
weren't.
she was still talking mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the reason she wasn't there for smoking weed is even more than that. I no matter what anybody says to me, you will not convince me that she did not smoke it to cover up some other
Thank
contraband.
you.
That
Sha'Carri
is,
been
yes,
smoking weed.
you've never smoked weed before, and suddenly a mother dies that you've never had anything to do with, and you decide to go ruin your career that way. I don't
Exactly.
buy that. I will not
She
buy it.
been
Yeah, see,
smoking
I
weed.
can't say that because when I say they come to chop my heads, I'm glad y'all saying it because me and nine and myself both said the same thing.
Nah, she
There's
been
something else
smoking weed.
behind this.
Of course,
Yep.
you can use weed to conceal a whole host of other things, right? A
Don't blame
whole
the weed.
But
Thank
my
you.
my
Leave
deceased
the weed alone.
my my late husband was a doctor of epidemiology, and I used to do read his book, and we talk about different things because he was also a great sportsman, Olympian, and all things. And weed is used to cover a lot of things,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of things. And my thing is, Nestor Carter just retired, right? He's never going to run again because of his health issues. And they
Right.
stripped the Jamaican relay team from the gold because he had to take medication for something,
Yep.
and the medication was not authorized. Now that it's discovered that it's a medical issue, I don't you think the Jamaicans should be given back that gold?
Hundred
Oh
percent.
yeah, I remember, yeah.
Medical,
100%.
and he's retired now because he can die. He can die. This isn't something it wasn't just weed. So why would you now, this girl who has done nothing but one race against her team or track mates in the US and posted a good time, and you have this world stage waiting for you. The world is your oyster, as they say. Why would you screw that up because you hear that some woman who gave birth to you who you were not close with?
Because
And
you
then
can be,
blaming the weed for it.
And you go and smoke weed and ruin your chance. You ruin your life that way. That's nonsense. Nobody will have me believe that. No,
And
no,
remember, in her own words, she goes, I knew what I did was wrong.
yeah,
Her
because she
own
knows
words.
that she was hiding something, and her entire camp are known cheaters. They're all cheaters. Justin Gatlin is one of the biggest cheater ever to run the sport.
in major trouble.
so,
Yep.
And the coach
so
also
And
is
the
a cheater.
Yes, and the nutritionists, they're all
Yeah.
cheaters.
so
So you
so
will not convince me that she did it because of her. If I might have been a little bit convinced if it was, say, her grandmother who passed, right? Because that's somebody who reared you.
Thank
But
you.
a birth mother that you didn't even know and had any relationship with. My question is, and I asked this on your site, Big J, did she go to the funeral? If
And
it
see
was
that
so upsetting for her, did she go to the funeral?
And mind you, didn't she also say it was a reporter that let her know her mom passed?
Right.
yep.
A reporter let you know.
Now
So
watch
how
now watch this. Now
you
watch
took
this.
that, you've
Now
never
watch this.
seen it. You rolled the
Brianna,
way.
watch this. Let me see what class does your whole team. Brianna's grandmother died, right?
Yeah.
They made sure that they handled that the right way. No one came to Brianna after the track meet except those who are publicists and those who handle her business. That's what
Yes.
I'm saying. Someone's
Yes.
not handling Sha'Carri's business right.
But Big J, onto that is the people who came to Brianna knew of her closeness to her grandmother.
Yeah,
So
you're
how
right.
am I on your team when I know you never knew this woman? She only gave you birth. I'm not. How is that going to affect you? I
Yeah,
wouldn't think that would affect you because you never knew her,
yeah, facts. Oh,
right?
You know
let
what?
me say this. Let
It's
me say this. Go ahead, Yard. Go ahead.
you see, we Caribbean people, when you grow up with, say we grow up with single parents, I will never know what Papa. If anything I'm to him, I will pass him on the road. We not know him. So it not
You
really
don't know
matter if
him.
he's gone or
Thank you.
not. So I'm not gonna shed unnecessary tears for him.
Yeah.
For what? But brother, go
Thank
down
you.
in a prayer and
And
say,
the
God,
little
can you bless me
research
this way
that
and
I
bless me
did
that
on
way?
Sha'Carri, I found out
I
that her
didn't grow up
aunt.
with my birth father.
And
And when
then
I was doing my master's, word came to me that he passed. Okay. Sorry to hear. Onward with my studies I go.
Thank you.
Right? I mean, come on now. It doesn't
and
make
then
sense to me that she threw away this opportunity, and then you can sit back and go, well, if I was there, well, here's another thing, Sha'Carri. If I was there, I could have beaten you, but I
Yep.
don't run track, so I wasn't there.
I
this
don't
if
this
you
think
if you
Let me answer this comment.
positions
Let me
are
answer this comment.
you got
Let
to
me
look
answer
at
this
the fact
comment.
you were not there. You were not there.
Let me answer this comment. I
Mm,
don't think it's that we're picking on young Americans. I
no,
was I was told like this: if you're grown enough to make a comment, be grown enough to receive the criticism
Yep.
you're going to receive from the comment. If
and
not,
bro,
don't
if
open your mouth.
and another thing my grandmother said, if
you know
you
what?
want to sling dirt, be prepared to get dirty.
Facts. Go ahead,
that's
Nine.
it.
This is one thing. When you're on the island, if you do something before your mom come home from work, she already know
Yep.
because
No,
the
yeah.
family help taking care of the kids. But in America, they don't even want your neighbor in your business. It'll cause a fight. So it's not that it's helping the community here in America.
Listen, growing up here in Canada, my mom was a single mother, and we lived on a street, and we called it the United Nations because it was a crescent. And we
Mm-hmm.
were the only black family. Next to us were Italians and Greeks, Portuguese. It was like little Europe. Let me tell you, those men in that neighborhood took it upon themselves to watch out for my mom's kids, not just us, but every kid in that
Everybody's good.
neighborhood
Yeah.
because being from the old European Italian, they grew up the same way, where the community raised your kid. So
Yeah,
before
yeah.
even got home, she already knew what time I got home, what I did, who walked me home, blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
Now I go to Jamaica every summer for summer vacation. Before whatever I did, everybody knew. Everybody knew before I got up on the hill where the house with my grandparents were. And so it's like it takes a village, right? That goes beyond everything else.
yeah. So now we if we understand that and we know in America where there's no way you're gonna get the help from the village, we gotta give this girl a little leniency because her upbringing isn't the same as our upbringing.
No, because if you allow one discrepancy, where are you going to draw the line? The line has to be drawn
But
firm,
but
firm
if
in the sand. This is why my niece and nephew call me, because my line is drawn. It's a black and white. There is no gray.
but
Let's hope.
if you're just talking about one, then yes, I could understand. But many American athletes have the same issues as her. It's a more of an American problem.
And I would say one such athlete would be Gatlin, the way he comes off and the showboating and carrying on. And yeah, I don't know.
Let me
Yeah, but
switch
you
the
know
narrative.
what?
Let me switch the narrative. Is
Let's
there a possibility that Sha'Carri Richardson can get herself together, and is she fast enough to compete?
She can get herself together mentally because, like I said, anybody can change. On the only time you cannot change is when you're dead. As long as you're
you know
alive,
what?
you can change.
You know what? With Sha'Carri, I think she need a total changeover. I think she need a different team. She have great prospects as a track star. I think she can make it, but she need a different team. You know what I mean? She needs someone who have her interest at art, who's going to tell her to do the right thing. You know what I mean?
But
But why bother? There are other people. There are other up and coming young women all over the place who are better behaved, better, more humble to put your attention on.
Because until
Uh,
she does something that goes
uh,
beyond human consciousness or human understanding, everyone deserves a chance. And if
Yeah, but
she's allowed to repent, hold on, if she's allowed to repent and get herself back in the graces of the elders and the people that she have disrespected, then I believe if that young lady who was at LSU comes back, not the one we know now, but the one who was at LSU was kicking everybody's butt. If she goes back to that place, she has a chance. If she stays in
but
this place, nah.
we
Yo,
can't.
Big J,
Go
Big
ahead,
J.
Yard.
We
May I show you a thing? You see before all this nonsense and this idiot thing going with Sha'Carri and the way she
Yes,
was running, I was a fan of her. I thought she
facts.
was the future in track and field and thing. And when Mr. Rotted, no man, she must have smoked too much weed. The way me see she acting, I'm saying no. But as you said, everybody deserve a chance in life. If we can't forgive, and as just like how Christ forgive us for
Yes.
killing him, we got to
now
forgive her
go
in
go go
some
go go back
aspect. But
to the comment.
we cannot condole what she have done. She have to come and ask for forgiveness.
That's what
She have to
I
come and
think.
apologize.
Until she apologizes, I will only refer to her as she can't eat.
So, Big
That's
J and Miss,
Can
I tell you
comment?
something. If I offended you, right?
mm.
If I offend you and say something, I'm the person supposed to come to you and say, you know what? Me shouldn't have acted that way then. It was an idiot thing me go on with, you know? Can
Yes.
you
Mm.
please forgive me? And
Yes.
let's turn a new leaf and let's go forward, you know what I mean? Until she comes and give an apology, if she come and give an apology and give it from the heart, no look a scripted thing,
Yeah,
just like how she can laba her mouth and she
yeah,
can give a good apology, then
yeah.
we can forgive her and say, you know what, come back to the fold. Come and eat
That's
bread and drink some wine.
right. She's
Let
until she's humble enough to apologize
That's
and
it.
for her insensitivity and her lack of respect, I will never refer to her by name.
but
But you
look,
guys, we also
look,
have to realize that yes, she can improve as a track star, but there's other up and
Mhm.
comers that are improving too.
Yes.
Exactly. So
Yes.
why are we putting everything, the onus on this one girl? This is a lot of
Brianna Williams,
thing.
Brianna,
This
the one from
huge
Brianna,
weight,
not
huge
Brianna,
burden for
the
her to bear. Why put all the onus of track's future on her shoulder? There's tons of other girls up and
there.
coming.
And
What's
I
your
don't
name?
think I
The
don't
Gabby girl. Gabby is a
yes,
better runner
yes,
than
yes,
Sha'Carri.
yes. And
Yep.
I don't think what's this? I don't think that we're putting the onus on her to be great. And I have to say this because being a minister, I always you're going to always hear me on the channel refer to the Bible. The Bible says Jesus left the 99 and went after the one.
That's it.
When we show compassion, we're greater than her insults. See,
So you
anyone can
mean
keep insulting each other. Well, but there's a story in the Bible. If you allow me 2 minutes, and I'll be quiet. The
yeah,
Bible says there's King David, right? All know King David, but there was a man who didn't like him by the name of Shimei. So Shimei saw him walking one day. He went to David and he called him bloody old dirty man, and he threw rocks at him and did all this stuff. And the king could have had him killed, but David said, "No, you're going to live." Sometimes our passion and our compassion will help. And I agree with you saying 100%. Don't even mention her name. That's right. Until she comes, watch this. But at the same time, it's like reaping hot coals on a person's head to when you just don't show them attention, but you still love them. And they don't know how to deal with you. So
can
what
I
will that
just
call? That will cause that young lady to come to grips and realize, but what's concerning me, the whole world with youth now are out of control. So I retract my statements. Go ahead,
My
okay?
Nine.
experience is that her
Look,
interview or recent interview showed no sign of humility. I don't. I from a psychological point of view, I didn't see remorse. I still saw a girl who was insecure and still very steeped in ignorance, um, and blindfolded by arrogance.
Yeah, that's why I say I
the,
retract my statement.
the comment
Go ahead,
said
Nine.
the comment states, was it really weed? And the way her performance has fallen off so
Yeah,
much,
yeah.
the the conspiracy theory is going to be overwhelming now because the weed might have just been a disguise for something else. You know,
But
you
isn't that
talk
what I said? That's exactly what I said. That
Ex-
weed was used to conceal something else.
a
Trying to
reason
give
to
the
look
weed a bad
at
name.
Yeah.
You know, I think right now she need to change her life. She need to change her old demeanor. She need to get in touch with her real self. She need to know that check the people who is around her
but
and say,
but
are these the type of people I want to
but
represent me? Are
Well,
these
maybe
right
people
that is
right for
her
me?
real self.
right
Maybe
now,
that is her real
if she
self.
was if she was to change all that, she still don't look like she's good enough. You know, we can't ignore that either.
But why do we think that because she's this way, which is in opposition to someone who is self aware and with high, maybe this is her real self. Maybe it is.
And this is her real ability, and we can't ignore her real ability, and her real ability just doesn't look good enough.
She need deliverance.
At 21, I knew who I was. But then at 22, who I thought I was at 21 is totally different. At
Mm,
23, who I thought I was at 22 was totally different. So we're forever changing and growing, but you need to be open to correction and in order to grow. You need to be
that's true.
open to opinions of older, wiser people. Not to say that you have to go on their path, but just open to some guidance, some direction, some humility, right? Because
You're so right.
we all grow our own way and we all make our own path. And I don't think it's up to anyone to take her and mold her into who we all think she should be. Let her be who she wants to be. If she's an exuberant person, let her be that. Let her be whatever. My contention with her was never about her the way she portrays herself. My contention, my bone of contention, was the hype surrounding her, and then her lack of respect in the interview when she said, "Congratulations to all the winners and all those who won." People have names. Come on. That to me was a little bit of a dig at not knowing these people. And then my further issue with her when she liked that comment, that shows me your face. To me, that shows me your face. But can she change from that? Of course she can. She's young. You're forever changing. You're
And
forever
and I,
changing.
Well,
and I believe what the room I believe what the room is saying is we're doing the same thing that media does. We're keeping her at the forefront of our topic. When if
Yeah,
we really want to
Exactly.
see her change, let's just leave it alone and move to something
leave
else.
it alone.
Because in a minute it's going to turn to the same type of hate that she
Yeah,
has and a low self-esteem. So it's about just turning
But
to that and start looking at these other women who did an amazing job today. You know what I'm saying?
that's what
And
I said.
What
Yeah,
do
and
what
I could say something positive about Sha'Carri today. After the race, she tried her very best and she congratulated two of the girls on the track.
yeah, but
I
she
thought
didn't
but
she didn't congratulate
no, she
but
didn't.
Christine.
but
No,
but
no, but
but
she tried.
that's
She
my
tried her
point,
thing.
Jay. That's what I first started with. I said, why do we keep giving air and attention to somebody who has not proven themselves?
Right,
There's so many other black women running and doing great things in track and field that we could look at,
right.
you know,
highlight
Big J.
them.
We
Go
think
ahead.
he's a real talent.
Uh-huh.
Um, Noah Lyles. I think he's a real talent for the future. He represents
Yeah.
the sport so well.
Right.
Yeah,
He has his own vibes, but it's all positive.
Right.
yeah.
And it shows you can have great talent and be positive.
Yeah, I was
Look at
reading
it.
his bio
Usain
this
Bolt,
morning. Yes.
Don't
Usain
forget
Bolt
about
just went
Andre
through the door,
DeGrasse, too, please. Don't
and
forget
the
about
grass, yeah,
DeGrasse.
big up the grass, big up,
Don't
big him
forget
up,
about
yeah,
him.
man.
For
Yep.
Listen,
Canada,
the
yes,
grass is a real talent, and
and
he
Thank
have been
you.
coming
humble.
from Usain Bolt days. He have been
Yep.
coming, and
Yep.
look how he
I, I,
excel.
I, I, I got a question. I got a good question for everybody.
Go on, man.
Did social media kill American athletics? Because you know, when you think about America, when America was dominating in track, you'd be like, man, I wonder what they're doing now. But now everybody has the ability to see what everybody is doing. Now people like, man, they be doing better than them. Is
No,
that
social
the
media kill a
reason?
lot of narratives. It's not just with
Not
sports.
just track and field.
Yeah,
It's
social
across
media
the
kill a
board.
lot of narratives
Across the board.
across
The,
the
But
board.
and
I'm just
also the cancel culture, right? There's a
Yeah.
cancel
I'm
culture now that's just
I'm just
killing it. You can't cough wrongly without somebody calling for you to be canceled.
Anyone
So
want to deal with this comment? Anyone want to deal with this comment?
instead of blasting the entire America, why not mention that Jamaicans have one of the highest murder rate in the world?
because we're not here talking about murder rates in the world. This is about the Olympic and athletics. That's
But
why.
but but
And if you want to discuss
but,
America murder
but
rate
hold on.
in the world,
Oh,
we can look at Chicago's
but
murder rate. We can look at
but
Atlanta's murder rate. We can look at many
but
other murder rates.
but believe it or not, truth hurt comment actually even makes American women look even more great because they're coming from one of the worst place and dominating with class. So that's not a bad comment.
Yeah, but for me it is because I know a lot of people. I know people who have migrated to Jamaica from the Ukraine, from Russia, from China, from Germany, from Great
Real
Britain,
talk.
from
Real
all
talk.
over the world. Not and they're not even black people. These are white people. So if Jamaica was as bad as everybody in Jamaica keeps pointing out that it is, leave because
There's
go
crime
somewhere
everywhere.
else and you will see how good you've got it. You will
Thank you.
see how
There's
good you've
crime
got it
everywhere.
and there is crime everywhere.
Everywhere.
Just the other
Everywhere.
day here in Toronto, in the mall, this is one of the best malls in the city, shooting happened, shootout.
Yeah.
The next day, a man's body is found dumped in a trash can. Another
There you
day,
go.
shooting at a plaza. So you sit there in Jamaica,
The
you
rest
can
of Canada
only that way
refer
in
to
Jamaica.
there
Hmm?
you go. And matter of fact, the rest of Canada refer to Toronto and Vancouver as Little America.
Exactly.
But at
Exactly.
least,
In
at least,
Vancouver, you can walk down the street and score any kind of drug you
Thank you.
want.
In
Okay?
Canada?
at
Anywhere in the
least,
world.
at,
Jamaica,
at
Jamaicans are
least
always
in Jamaica,
hmm?
at least in Jamaica, you don't have nobody shooting up mall or plazas or
Or
nothing like
your
that.
schoolyard. So
Or
Yeah,
cinnamon
so
rolls.
guess what? You don't
I
have
went
nobody killing black people, putting their head down
on
because they
exact.
have they're black police shooting them and the things there. If we could take it at 360 degrees.
No, I did that on another channel actually, and
Listen.
someone that she's a Ukraine living in Jamaica, and she's always bigging up Jamaican stuff. And someone came on there with that, and I listed off for them all these statistics in the U.S. murder, all the statistics in Canada, in Russia and stuff, and that person has nothing to say about it. So you get people don't understand the power of the media to influence. Okay, Jamaica is a black island, so everything is under a microscope, and it blows up. It blows up into proportions
I have a
more than
question.
anything else. Okay,
I have a question. Who won the race today?
Who won
what?
the
And
race today?
Yeah.
Track and field won the race today. Track and
Exactly.
field. 'Cause we're here talking.
We're here
Exactly.
talking.
Yeah, man.
but yo,
Exactly.
Dr.
And I'm gonna
Watch
hang
this.
up
Let
you
me say
guys
this.
and leave you
Let me
guys.
say
I
this.
gotta go get my vaccine. This was wonderful. Please let's do this again soon. And
Yes.
yeah. Have a
Yeah,
wonderful weekend,
I
all.
got to give you my contact so that when you're in Toronto, you can come and check me out. And
I
I
will
was
be
in
there in 3
Montreal
days.
2 weeks ago, and too
I
bad
will
we
be
didn't.
there in 3 days.
You're gonna be, and I'm not gonna be in Toronto in 3 days.
Oh my
In
God.
fact, yeah.
Listen, I'm sorry, Jay, to take up your line.
No, you're good. You're
Ollie,
good.
could you take my email? It's JU.
Hang on, I gotta. Sorry, Jay. Sorry, Big Jay.
I'm
No,
sorry, Big J,
no,
and
y'all good.
I'm
Y'all
gonna get
good.
the vaccine because I can't watch my son play if I don't have it.
All right. Hey, say congratulations to your son also.
I sure will. Thank you. You know, him. I tried to kill that football dream since he was 6, and that little boy said, I'm gonna play football. I'm gonna play
That's
football."
I'm
right.
trying to pen, keep talking.
Yeah, man. Make him live the dream. Make him live the dream.
He's living it. JU
Yeah, man. Make him live the dream. Don't kill
J
the dream. Live the dream.
SO S
J
like
U S
Sam
O.
O CO
Huh? Hey, could I read this comment?
Yeah, hold on. Let him finish right quick.
JUSOCOPE41 at gmail.com.
P as in Peter.
Yeah, Juso Cope.
Cope at gmail.com.
Yeah,
Okay.
41 after the Cope. 41 after the Cope.
Yep, got it.
Okay, love you
You will
guys.
hear from
Have a
All right, you
wonderful
too now.
weekend. Take care.
Bye bye.
Enjoy yourself.
Likewise. Nice
All right
meeting
now.
you. Stay
You too.
blessed.
Bye, guys.
All right
Respect,
now.
respect.
Well,
Go
I'm
ahead,
still
Nine.
Look,
I'm in my
Go,
office with nothing else to do, so
go ahead, Nine.
Is it from
seems
London to
like
Canada?
Go ahead,
people
Nine.
here are not real track fans. No, this is real track fans having real conversation
Come
that
on.
brought all together because of track.
but I
Come on.
want to know why he would say that. Why does Truth Hurt think we're not real track fans? Why?
Everybody is not shallow and and Boma won, and come on, life is bigger than just one person winning a race. It's
Right.
more to dialogue about than just the race. Sometimes when you have a stream, you let the conversation drive the stream, not the topic drive the conversation.
But
That's
Football
why
it.
do you think that we're
always
not
been
a true track fan?
that way.
I've been
You
to
know,
two Olympics. So, wow, how much more of a track fan can I be other than running?
I
I've
was
watched.
um I was at his last two races in London.
Listen, Truth Earth, none of us live in Jamaica, but I go down, except for the past 2 years because of COVID, I go down to Jamaica every year. My family supports a school in Jamaica and several other organizations in Jamaica. I am born, don't let the Canadian accent fool you. I am born Jamaican. I just came here
Jamaican,
when I
yeah,
was educated here. My whole
listen,
ancestry is Jamaican.
can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Were you born in Jamaica?
I was born in Jamaica, yeah.
Oh, what age did you leave Jamaica?
Age 3.
So listen, and you grew up in Canada, so you got to have an accent. It's just naturally have an accent.
Natural,
That don't mean
right?
you're not Jamaican. You're still yard.
I
You're
listen,
empress.
and I have
Listen,
been going back to Jamaica since the age of 13 was my first trip, and then again when I was 16. And from the age of 16, I've been going to Jamaica every year since. And then then COVID hit, and my grandmother passed away last year.
Let me clear some truths up. Let me clear some truths up. The first hour as the moderator, we stay on point of a topic. Then the second hour, what I do is because the people are so faithful to the channel, they
Mm.
dialogue, they comment. When they come on, if you notice, I'm not saying too much of anything because when we promise to give you the mic and allow you that space, that's what we're going to do. And it's not to offend anyone. It's just that, just like the people in the channel, we respect everyone. Everyone's opinion matters. But after the first hour of dialogue on track and field, which we did, then the second hour, I see that everyone who chats in the comment section, I back up, Nine takes over, and then what we try to do is allow those individuals to dialogue what they feel is necessary. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah, but if we've been talking about track for 2 hours, it wouldn't be any more comments. You know,
Facts.
it's only so.
But this conversation leads into other things, right? Isn't that what good
for
conversation
real, for real,
does,
for real.
Yes.
right? We opine and we give commentary on other things because if you cannot see that track, this whole thing with that girl is more than just that girl mouthing off on TV or wherever, then you're blind. And that's what we're discussing, everything else that this attributes to, because it's more than that. It's more than that.
There's certain channels you go to, they don't give you this platform.
No, they
At,
don't.
You sit and you
athletics,
listen to someone. Go ahead, Nine. Go ahead.
athletics should never be the majority part of your life. Athletics should be just a small fraction of your life because living life is a challenge all on its own, and
Right.
is important things out there that You maybe not like it, but there's many people out there like, man, this is the kind of conversation I want to hear because this is
Right.
hitting, you know.
You know what
And
got me today? You know what got me today is when the person said something about their deficiency within their body. I immediately
mm,
stopped. I immediately stopped and said, we have to help this individual. If there's something you know or something you can say, everyone in the chat immediately went to support and give help. Someone even said that they own a juice company and
Yeah,
that
I
they could
wanted to
send
take
juice.
it down.
Let me see who that was again. I know who it is. I'm gonna give you the
It's
information
one of
right
the
now.
deficiency.
Oh, here it is right here. Here's the name. He owns a juice company. And
Okay.
I want to start
wow.
pointing out businesses. I want business, put your business information in the room so we can post it. Because we this is a room of help and support. That's
Yeah.
why I said before, everyone has to have a voice. That's why we put in the link so everyone can talk.
And if
And
we weren't speaking and sharing, how would you even know that I have this problem with my hemoglobin and iron? Somebody else mentioned it, and then I chimed in that I too suffer from that.
Facts.
So it's about dialogue and sharing on this platform, and I thank you for it. I
Yes.
really do.
Yes. And it's only gonna get stronger and bigger because we get a chance to be true to who we are and share our truths in support
Hmm.
of others.
But back
go
to
back, go
this
back one
thing
comment.
about
No. Another comment. No. We're talking about yes, track and field to Jamaicans is like football, soccer to other Europeans. Track
and
is
hockey to Canadians. Yeah.
That's true.
track
That's true.
is just as big as European football all over the world. So track
But
is a bigger deal than we really give it credit for.
Well, Europe
it
is called
Jamaicans, we take
Canada,
it
so
to
you know
another
what
planet. It's listen, when we say track and field, right? It's a way out of poverty. We
yeah,
see scholarships. We
yeah.
see all different opportunity coming. So when we're running, we're seeing opportunities when we're running. So it's like when that's why we have the trials, the tryouts, the boys
The
and girls camps,
yeah.
where people run for their life to make time to win to get scholarship from Maryland all over the world. So it's a way of life for us. It's like a religion in Jamaica, track and field.
I mentioned that to somebody the other day that just like hockey's a religion to us Canadians, it's the
Mm.
same to with track and field in Jamaica. It's a religion. It's a way out. It's a come together. It's it's an experience.
Absolutely.
It's an
You know, when you
experience.
go to school in Jamaica, it don't matter if you're overweight, you're slim, whatever build you are. We have sports day. You got to run, even if you're doing egg and spoon. You
And
got to do something. And you know
let me
what was the prize, Big J?
Yes.
The prize was glucose.
yeah,
Sugar. Yep.
milk
Yeah.
sugar.
Yeah.
When you run,
And
you get some glucose in your hand.
let me say this
I'm
to the
telling
person who claim I wasn't Jamaican.
you.
I'm
Oh,
in Jamaica. I may not. I was born Jamaican, number one, so I
you're
am
Jamaican.
for
You're
Jamaica.
Jamaican.
And although I was educated and raised here, I went home every year to Jamaica. And I say home, and to this day, my mom thinks it's very shocking that me, the last little one, who she was more Canadian than anybody else, is the one with the interest in Jamaica. Because I'm interested in my culture, I'm interested from where I'm coming from. And I know so much about track and field in Jamaica. I know that in schools you have four houses, right? And it's house against house on on sports day and all that.
Mm.
Sister,
Yeah,
Hollywood, let me
man,
say
for
this. Let
real,
me
for
say this.
real.
Hollywood, let me say this because we're about to
mhm.
shut it down. Let me say this.
Red house, purple house, this house.
I allowed you on the platform because of your comments. You never have to justify yourself here to anyone. I don't care what's
thank
said
you,
in the comment section. You don't have to do it. At this
thank
at
you.
this point, we're going to close. But what I do want to hear, I want to hear from those in the chat. Last comments. But before that, I say salute to the channel. You did an amazing job today for your first time on with us. And nine, you did a great job. So we're going to allow Yard Man to go first with closing comments, then Ali North, and then we'll have nine, and we'll also have the room.
Yo, Big J, big up yourself. And just want to say massive respect to you and your fans for allowing me on your show. It was quite an experience and thing, you know. And being a true Jamaican like the next lady there, it's a pleasure to make my voice be heard. And I just hope and pray and say all things are possible through Christ. That this young track star should change her ways and her attitude and, you know what I mean, and be a better person. You know, me, I hope we can continue to this talk. You know, have a good night, everyone. Peace and love. Boom shack. One love. Easy
Yes,
now.
sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
All right.
Have a good night, y'all.
All right. You
Good
too,
night.
brother. All right.
Okay.
Olive North. Ali.
Well, thank you so much for allowing me on. I know that sometimes I can be polarizing with my opinions. I'm a very opinionated person and I don't back down from my opinions very much. So thanks for the for allowing me to be on. And someone who says, you know, we're not talking track, they need to understand this goes beyond just this young lady and being in the media. It transcends so many other things that affects Black people. And that's why we're discussing it to the extent that we were. It doesn't have to be about who won which race, who won that race, rah, 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 because there's so much more about it than just the race itself.
Facts. Thank you very much.
And I wish you guys a great weekend. And you'll see me online making my comments.
All right. That's what we're talking about. Thank you so much. Salute.
Have a good day.
All right. To the best moderator and to the best person in the room, the one who supports, helps me, shares with knowledge that I need to know. 9. Go ahead.
And I would say never let this portrayed illusion become our delusion.
Wow. Let's get these last 2 comments, 9, and that'll be it.
I love your attitude, sister. You give and you take. I appreciate you showing up today also.
All right. Go ahead.
This conversation was great. And we do it for the people. We don't do it for ourselves. We
Yes.
do it for people, and we're trying to keep people engaged.
Yes. All right. Here we go. Last one. This is the last one.
My last message was choppy. Salute to the panel and the platform. This is a live platform, and I love it. And we love everybody who shows their support.
That's right.
I mean, it's entertainment for the people. We can't entertain ourselves.
Facts. Facts. Hey, we want to say this again, that we do appreciate everyone who supports the channel. You come on, we talk, we dialogue. That's what it's all about. That's why it was created. You are amazing. And you know what I'm